Chapter 14:18. Zhang Wu had returned. Fang Ping suppressed the catacombs. No one dared to stop him. It was a symbol, a huge turning point. Mankind's greatest enemy, the catacombs, had been defeated by the humans. Before this, no matter how powerful the heavenly king suppressing king was, no matter how powerful Fang Ping was, no matter how powerful Martial King was, they were not even defeated in the catacombs. The catacombs gathered the divine sect, the demon court, and roped in foam. All of these meant that they wanted to continue fighting against the human race. Today, however, many rank 8 martial artists watched helplessly as Fang Ping ran amok in the catacombs. None of them dared to return. Defeat, losing without a fight. However, Fang Ping did not stop there. He still couldn't forget what Zhang Tao had said. There will be a day of reckoning. The day of reckoning will come. Today, since Fang Ping had picked up the butcher's knife, he would not give up just like that. The moment he received Zhang Wu's message, Fang Ping's voice reverberated in all directions. Every army of the human race, enter the catacombs and annihilate the outer realm. Avenge any enmity and avenge any grievances. Take revenge for this blood feud. The tens of millions of human souls shall be repaid by the catacombs 100, 1,000 times over. Kill! A loud roar resounded throughout the world. Fang Ping did not stop there, settling accounts with the catacombs. Too many human children had died in battle in the 108 outer realms. Should he just let it go? Impossible. Too many people had died in battle in the catacombs. In just 3 short years, how many acquaintances had died? The old principal, Huang Jing, Elder Fan, Guosheng, Little Fatty, Jean Lei, Xie Ziwei, the Chen family's patriarch. Images appeared in Fang Ping's mind. Familiar faces appeared in front of him one by one. The Battle of Tianan, the Battle of Nanjiang, the Battle of Heaven Gate, the Battle of Demonic City, the Battle of King Battlefield, the Battle of Fake Heavenly Grave. How many people had died in these large-scale battles? Over the past 3 years, the battles had been endless and countless people had been killed. However, there seemed to be fewer acquaintances around him. The number of senior grandmasters had also dwindled. He died in battle in a foreign land. How could Fang Ping let it go so easily? From today onwards, the humans would most likely focus on cultivation, waiting for the boundary wall to shatter, waiting for the arrival of the Great War. The battles with the catacombs would become fewer and fewer. How could Fang Ping give up on the idea of revenge? At this moment, a large number of cultivators were pouring in from every tunnel and every outer region. Teams of military martial artists set off and entered the catacombs. Magic Martial Army, National Guardian Army, Fallen Stars Army, Wuan Army, a large number of military martial artists had charged into the catacombs. At this moment, countless people's blood was boiling. The time for revenge had come. It was time to settle the score. The southern region. The newly promoted Legion commander, Chun Jiaxing, was in tears at this moment. The time for revenge had come. Chun families young and old, apart from him, had all died in battle in a foreign land. Today, the day of reckoning had arrived. East Forest Army, follow me. Chun Jiaxing gripped the twin hooks in his hands and led the tens of thousands of warriors. Like a raging bull, balls of blood hovering in the air, they charged rapidly towards the remaining royal cities of the southern domain. At this moment, the powerhouses of the catacombs were still in awe of Fang Ping. However, in the face of a life-and-death crisis, these people could not care less about Fang Ping. On the catacomb side, powerhouses quickly stepped forward, howling shrilly. Kill! 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 A deafening battle cry resounded. Blood, flesh, broken limbs, both sides collided rapidly. The great armies fought and killed each other. The catacomb side was in utter chaos. It was difficult for them to organize themselves, and they were completely unable to resist the humans. The human strength had increased tremendously. Now the king of humans was holding the line, intimidating everyone. Many of the catacombs kings were now in the sea area. They dared not return. How could they fight with the humans? A great war broke out. Millions of martial artists charged and broke through the enemy lines, charging into the catacombs from all directions. Blood for blood. In the 100 years of war with the foreign lands, millions of soldiers and civilians had died. Today was the day to settle the score with the foreign lands. One by one, the powerhouses were bathed in blood and killing. Fong Ping saw MCMU powerhouses, martial arts university powerhouses, and those veteran grandmasters. At this moment, there was no sense of shame of bullying the weak. There was only the satisfaction of killing all the enemies and taking revenge. Many powerhouses were participating in the war. There were even emperors. Crushing. However, who dared to stop them? Who could stop them? Fong Ping even raised his middle finger at the sea area. Come and stop them if you have the guts. Help. Where's the king? The heavenly court has abandoned us. Li Zhu, you will die a horrible death. On you, we will wait for you underground. Mournful cries even spread to the sea area. At this moment, in the sea area, Li Zhu's face was slightly pale, his eyes slightly cloudy. He was the catacombs king. Yes, he was the one and only king. Hong Yu and the others did not count. He was a native catacombs powerhouse. He was the Sky Plant's royal court's lord. He was the catacombs king. But now, he could only watch helplessly as the humans massacred the catacombs martial artists. Yes, massacred. With Fong Ping in charge, the powerhouses did not dare to make a move. There were countless human powerhouses. How could they fight against them? Countless martial artists were killed. The foreign lands were dyed blood red. At this moment, someone broke through the air and arrived. Sky Fate Royal Court's Lord, Ji Hong. At this moment, bathed in blood, he came and said mournfully, King Li, God's continent is about to be destroyed. King Li, are you really not willing to save us? Li Zhu's expression was complicated. Save? How could he save them? Seeing that everyone was silent, Ji Hong's face was full of despair. My father, King Ming, will fight for God's continent until the end. My birth father, Qi Huanyu, will fight for God's continent until the end. My Ji family was born in God's continent and will die in God's continent. Li Zhu, you're not as good as my father. Ji Hong roared. You're not as good as my father. Be it King Ming or Qi Huanyu. You're not as good as them. Ji Hong turned and flew back, his voice reverberating in all directions. Sky Fate Army, follow me to kill the enemy. Rumble. Army after army walked out of the restricted area. The humans were only massacring the foreign lands. They had not entered the restricted area. However, Ji Hong knew that it was only a matter of time. The foreign lands were also God's continent. If they did not fight today, God's continent would be completely destroyed. King Ming's entire life had been thinking of unifying the catacombs, leading the catacombs into the land of rebirth and becoming the master of the three realms. Unfortunately, King Ming's ability was too weak. He was too inexperienced and knew too little. In the battle at the Land of War, he was killed by Fong Ping and Zhang Tao together. However, King Ming had been fighting his entire life. Sky Fate Royal Court also became the strongest force in the catacombs in the hands of King Ming. As for Li Zhu, what was he? He hid his ability until the end, but he was still an ant. Armor appeared on Ji Hong's body. Holding a long spear, he flew back to Imperial Sea Mountain quickly. Behind him, hundreds of thousands of troops gathered. Ji Hong roared, "Follow me to kill the enemy. Li Zhu does not deserve to be the king of God's continent. I, Sky Fate Royal Court, will betray the Heavenly Court today. Kill!" Rumble. The army set off. In front, the magic martial army attacked rapidly. The two armies confronted each other. In the blink of an eye, the absolute powerhouses attacked. Many. On the catacomb side, there were powerhouses too. In the Sky Fate army, Ji Yao was also there. At this moment, she was also wearing armor, holding a long sword, charging out. Ji family was not Li Zhu. Li Zhu, one of the three realms powerhouses. He was an emperor, he was a transcendent. As for the Ji family, it was to unify the catacombs. They were the king of the catacombs. Li Zhu, he was not. As soon as the two sides met, in the blink of an eye, a large number of corpses fell. Ji Yao and Ji Hong had already reached emperor rank. On the human side, there were many desperate realm powerhouses and a few emperor ranks. At this moment, the sound of killing shook the sky. Other places were massacres. Here, however, a fierce war broke out. Imperial Sea Mountain. Fong Ping had already arrived. At this moment, one by one, the human powerhouses looked over there. Zhang Tao sighed. The Ji family still has some hot-bloodedness. Even as enemies, it must be said that the Ji family still had some guts and hot-bloodedness. Li Zhu and the others did not dare to return. The Heavenly Court army holed up. In the end, Ji Hong betrayed the Heavenly Court and led the Heaven's Mandate army out. The Heaven's Mandate army was willing to follow the Ji family. This also proved that the Ji family had some ability. At this juncture, there were still hundreds of thousands of troops willing to follow the Ji family. In other places, the military martial artists had long been in chaos. However, the Heaven's Mandate army still maintained its formation. At this moment, facing the humans' most elite magic martial army, although there were heavy casualties, they still had some power to fight back, causing some casualties. Fong Ping watched for a while, but did not intervene. Instead, he growled, "End the battle quickly. Surround the Heaven's Mandate army. Since Princess Ji wants to walk the path of glory, I, Fong Ping, will fulfill your wish. Kill." In all directions, the major armies quickly slaughtered the defeated catacombs martial artists. Very soon, powerhouses from the major armies led troops to kill this side. Surround and kill the Heaven's Mandate army. On the battlefield, only the Heaven's Mandate army was worth fighting, worth killing. Even if they were enemies, they also admired powerhouses who fought alone until the last moment. From dawn to dusk, the battle continued. Magic City area. Hundreds of thousands of Heaven's Mandate army. At this moment, there were countless casualties. Less than 10,000 people were left, surrounded in the former Sky Gate City area. Ji Hong's armor had long been shattered, his spear broken. This Ji Hong, who was regarded as a useless lord, had exploded with unimaginable glory today. Li Zhu, Ji Hong. These two were often compared by others. Anyone would say that Ji Hong was not as good as Li Zhu. Ji Hong was only relying on Life King. Even Ji Hong himself thought so. He felt that he was not as good as Li Zhu, Life King, and even King Huai, but today no one said the same. Ji Hong looked around. There was only a pile of defeated soldiers left. Beside him, his daughter's hair was disheveled, a sword mark running through her face. One of her eyes was also stabbed blind in the battle. Ji Hong's hand trembled. He wanted to caress his daughter's face, but he put it down in disappointment. Ji Hong's eyes flashed with a complicated expression as he stared at the experts of the human race who were surrounding him from all directions. Even though he knew that he would definitely lose, he still led the Heavenly Mandate army and killed his way out, sending the Heavenly Mandate army and the Ji clan to their deaths. Yaoer, looking at his silent daughter, Ji Hong said in a hoarse voice, "Do you blame father? If the Ji family didn't participate in the battle, the human race might not attack them. This was because the Heaven's Mandate royal court didn't fight much with the human race. But he still attacked. If he didn't, the God continent would collapse. Martial artists wouldn't dare to cultivate, and military martial artists wouldn't dare to fight anymore. This wasn't the God continent. The God continent that deterred everyone. The powerful Heaven's Mandate army that his father, Qi Huanyu, had single-handedly created would also become a useless army. So he killed his way out. But now, looking at his daughter, who was heavily injured but still standing guard by his side, Ji Hong suddenly wanted to cry. I'm indeed not as good as father and mentor you. At least when they were alive, they wouldn't be a burden to their descendants. Father, Ji Yao, whose face was pierced by a sword wound, was exceptionally calm. She revealed a not-so-pretty smile and said, Father, Yaoer doesn't blame you, and I don't regret it. I want to be the only empress of the God continent. In the past, I've said it before, I want to have someone by my side when I fight on the battlefield until the very end. That day, when King Wu entered the domain and fought to the end, he still had someone by his side. I'm really envious. I don't like Li Zhu and the rest. So what if they're strong? How many people would be willing to follow me in a battle of life and death? But my Ji family does. Ji Yao's energy surged, and her aura exploded. Her voice echoed in the surroundings. Heaven's Mandate Army, are you willing to follow me and my daughter to fight to the death? Yes. A group of wounded soldiers roared out. The Ji family had treated them well. The Heaven's Mandate Royal Court was also the most peaceful and the safest of the 4 royal courts. Although Ji Hong wasn't strong, Qi Huanyu was good at commanding troops. Ji Hong trusted Qi Huanyu and had never mistreated him. Ji Yao was domineering when she was young, but after suffering setbacks, she entered the army to train and fought with them on the battlefield against the demon race. She was also a heroine. Now that they were out of the forbidden zone, they were prepared to die. All right, Ji Yao laughed. At this moment, who said that women were inferior to men? Father, I'll follow you to kill the enemy. There are no cowards in the Ji family. Ha! Ji Hong laughed and shot out his broken spear. He roared, kill. On the other side, Wu Quishan's expression was cold and merciless as he roared, kill. Kill everyone. The two sides quickly clashed. Rumble. Cultivators died in battle one after another. Severed limbs flew in all directions. The Heaven's Mandate Army, which had less than 10,000 people, kept decreasing. 3,000, 2,000, 1,000, an army of hundreds of thousands was reduced to less than 1,000 people. Yet they didn't collapse, shocking the 3 realms. This was something that only happened to the human race in the past. Today, the father and daughter of the Ji family led the Heaven's Mandate Army and fought in glory. In the catacombs, Li Zhu and the others were a disgrace. But the 2 emperor-level martial artists fought in glory. On Mount Imperial Sea, at this moment, even the Heavenly King subduing sighed and said, the Ji family is a little unexpected. This Ji Hong was just a piece of trash in the past. No one took him seriously. Who would have thought that he would make such a choice? And that Ji Yao, who fought with you many times in the past, was domineering and hedonistic. Who would have thought that, today, a woman is not inferior to a man? These were words of praise, and the Heavenly King subduing still praised them, even if the other party was an enemy. Even if the father and daughter of the Ji family caused quite a number of casualties to the human race. But on the battlefield, it was like this. The father and daughter of the Ji family were indeed worthy of their shock today. In the huge catacombs, there were tens of billions of living beings and a large number of heavenly kings. In the end, it was 2 emperor-level martial artists who led an army of hundreds of thousands that fought to the end with the human race. Li Zhu and the others, whether they were scheming or afraid. At this moment, the Heavenly King, subduing, only wanted to say that none of them were men. So, what if they died in battle? On the human side, they did it. On the other hand, on the side of the catacombs, they watched these elites die in battle, indifferent. Li Zhu might be a scheming hero, but today, in the eyes of the Heavenly King subduing, he was definitely not a hero. If he was really a hero, he should stand up today and fight him, instead of sitting in the sea and watching the catacombs being slaughtered. Fong Ping did not say anything. He looked over there. At this moment, the father and daughter of the Ji family were already seriously injured. There were less than 100 people left in the Heaven's Mandate Army beside them, still fighting a bloody battle. Fong Ping suddenly stepped out into the air. Old Man Li raised his eyebrows slightly and transmitted his voice to Zhang Tao. He wants to save Ji Yao. Zhang Tao shook his head slightly. He was not sure. Still, he said, it's not impossible to save her. After today, I'm afraid that the catacombs will be completely disappointed in Li Zhu and the others. If they really want to conquer the catacombs in the future, the Ji family is a good candidate to suppress the catacombs. Old Man Li thought about it. Maybe, but he was a little reluctant. Of course, whatever Fong Ping did, he would listen. If he really wanted to save the father and daughter of the Ji family, it was not impossible. Bang! A self-explosion was heard. The last member of the Heaven's Mandate Army had self-destructed. At this moment in the field, Ji Hong's bones were broken. His flesh and blood were all gone. His Tao had been burned to the end. It would be difficult for him to survive. As for Ji Yao, she was also seriously injured. Her Tao was shattered, her whole body bathed in blood. She supported Ji Hong, not letting him fall. Around them, Wu Quishan and the others looked at the surrounded father and daughter of the Ji family with a solemn expression. Although they were enemies, although this father and daughter had caused many casualties in MCMAU, Wu Quishan still had to say that the father and daughter of the Ji family were both heroes of the catacombs. Perhaps they had a strong desire for power and had always wanted to unify the catacombs. However, if the Ji family really unified the catacombs, perhaps the catacombs would have a better life. At least, when the country was destroyed, the king was willing to stand up and die for the country. King Lord Ji. Wu Quishan looked at Ji Hong and said softly, "Why do you have to stand up?" The Heavens Mandate Royal Court was not the main target of the human race's revenge. The main target was still the Sky Plant's Royal Court. If Ji Hong really hid until the end, he might not die. However, today he might die without a doubt. Why? Ji Hong coughed up blood. Propping up his body with a broken spear, he laughed and said, "I am the king of Divine Continent. My father is, and so am I. The Ji family is the master of the catacombs. How can we not fight? Today, cough, cough, if we don't fight, the people of Divine Continent will be scattered, and there will be no future if we fight today. Even if we die, there will be people who remember the Ji family. Just like you humans, there were times when you were suppressed. Everyone worked hard, everyone was willing to die. That's why there is today. You human martyrs can die. The people of Divine Continent can too." Ji Hong panted. He did not look at Wu Quishan anymore. He looked at Ji Yao, his eyes revealing a hint of reluctance. Wu Quishan did not speak anymore. He led the powerhouses and slowly closed up. These two people could still self-destruct when they were on the verge of death. They did not move and did not die because they were waiting for them to surround them and self-destruct. Even when they were about to die, they wanted to drag someone down with them. However, this was destined to be impossible. On MCMU's side, there were dozens of peak-level people. How could they be a match for the Emperor-level people? At this moment, the void fluctuated. Fong Ping walked over in the air. Seeing Fong Ping, Wu Quishan was slightly taken aback. Why was Fong Ping here? Looking at Ji Yao again, Wu Quishan was a little surprised. Was it because of this woman? In the crowd, Chen Yunxi, who was covered in blood, could not help but look at Fong Ping. Fong Ping did not greet them. Instead, he looked at Ji Yao and said softly, "We meet again." Ji Yao was blind in one eye. The other eye was completely blood red. At this moment, she looked at Fong Ping in a daze. When they first met, it was at the battlefield of the kings. Fong Ping brought Wang Jinyang and the others and stirred up a storm of blood at the battlefield of the kings. At that time, she got to know Fong Ping. Until now, she could not forget how ruthless this man was at that moment. He used her to threaten Feng Yexing and the others, chopping off her arm and snatching her storage ring. After that, they met more and more. It was still at the battlefield of the kings. He pretended to be Feng Yexing. Ji Yao was prepared to catch them all in one fell swoop. In the end, they joined forces to kill the other princes. She, Fong Ping, and Huayu worked together, all wanting to become the king of the clans. Now, Fong Ping had become the king. Huayu had long given up. She did not want to give up, but she also knew that it was already impossible. Her gaze was a little dazed. Ji Yao quickly regained her senses and sneered. "You want to see me make a fool of myself?" In the past, she was high and mighty. She had the three realms' #1 powerhouse, Fake King, as her grandfather. She had the Destiny Royal Court as her backing. She looked down on Fong Ping. Today, however, she was battered and exhausted, like a beggar. Fong Ping, on the other hand, had long been high and mighty, comparable to the emperors. "You want to see me make a fool of myself?" Fong Ping said softly, "There's no need. Which powerhouse in the three realms is not a joke in my eyes? As for you, you are considered my old friend." Fong Ping looked at her. Beside her, Ji Hong's expression changed for a while. He coughed up blood and said, "Human King, I must die. I am also willing to die." However, if the humans keep Yao Air, on the day of the humans' great victory, Yao Air can subdue her old subordinates. The human king can make Yao Air the queen of Divine Land. She will be the humans' puppet. This will allow Divine Land to integrate with the humans faster. He wanted to save his daughter. At the last moment, he could not bear to do so. It was fine if he died, but his daughter was still young. He did not want his daughter to die with him. Ji Yao, however, shouted in a low voice, "Father, I am not willing." Fong Ping interrupted her and said calmly, "I do not need these things. That is the Martial King's business, not mine. You have killed MCMAU's people. That makes you my enemy. I am here to send an old friend off. Ji Yao, you and I have known each other for a long time. It is fate. A long time ago, I wanted to kill you, but in the end, I did not succeed or I gave up. Today, you're going to leave. I thought about it. Maybe you should still die in my hands. Killing you is not a disgrace to you." Ji Yao suddenly laughed. She looked at him and said slowly, "You want to kill me? Aren't you afraid of sullying your name as the human king?" She was already heavily injured, a heavily injured emperor level. In a situation where she was surrounded, she no longer had any strength to fight back. The human king wanted to kill her personally. Was he not afraid of being laughed at and criticized? Fong Ping said seriously, "I am the Devil King, not the human king. You are my friend. I do not have many friends. If one dies, one less. Since it has come to this, I think I should send you off. Are you willing to die in the hands of others?" Ji Yao laughed again. A smile appeared on her ferocious face, but it looked especially charming. "You are right. I would rather die in your hands." Ji Yao laughed. She did not know why she laughed. Suddenly, she let go of Ji Hong's hand and took a step forward, then another step, slowly approaching Fong Ping. Fong Ping did not move, letting her walk in front of him. Ji Yao looked at him, then raised her head to look at him. Her gaze became more and more dazed. She laughed softly and said, Why aren't you from Divine Land? Full of regret, indescribable regret. Why aren't you from Divine Land? Which girl does not yearn for love? The children of Divine Land love heroes too. Can you help me recover my looks?" Ji Yao looked at him expectantly. Fong Ping nodded slightly. He stretched out his hand and gently touched her cheek. The scars disappeared quickly. Ji Yao reached out and touched her own cheek. Suddenly, she felt a little happy, a little excited, no longer lifeless. Fong Ping. She lifted her head and looked at Fong Ping. Her eyes revealed a hint of a smile. She said softly, "Do you know, when you became famous, Imperial Ancestor and Royal Father said, maybe they could let you marry into the Imperial Court. I heard it. I quarreled with Imperial Ancestor, quarreled with Royal Father. I told them that even if I die, I am not willing, but I was secretly delighted for a while. It's a pity, it's a pity. Why aren't you from Divine Land?" Ji Yao's gaze gradually dimmed. She grabbed Fong Ping's hand. Gradually, her gaze completely dimmed. Fong Ping did not speak. He looked at Ji Yao, looked at the dead Ji Yao. No one knew what he was thinking. "You guys, why aren't you Earthlings?" Too many people had died in the war for more than 100 years. Hatred could not be resolved. Not far away, Ji Hong's tears of blood dripped from his eyes. He sensed that his daughter had left first. "Human King, I beg you, leave little Yao's corpse intact." Ji Hong laughed bitterly. The next moment, he turned to look at the restricted area. He could not see anymore. The tall Imperial Sea Hill blocked his view. "I, Ji Hong, am the King of Destinies." Rumble. There was an explosion. There was no corpse left. Ji Hong had self-destructed. Clang clang. A sorrowful cry reverberated in all directions. In the sky, a gorgeous phoenix was dancing, soaring, and crying sorrowfully. "Sister Yao, the phoenix sparrow is here." A young girl's voice rang out. It was joyful, joyful, and sorrowful. A dazzling fiery light bloomed in the sky. A phoenix was burning itself in the sky. Since no one was going to send her off, then let the phoenix sparrow do it. Chapter 14:19. Brilliant flames erupted in the air. It was a beautiful phoenix. It was exceptionally beautiful. That childish voice sounded like that of a neighbor's child. The G family's father and daughter had died in battle, along with hundreds of thousands of heavenly mandate soldiers. In the end, a phoenix and a demonic beast had come to send them off. He burned himself to tell the three realms that there were still people who remembered the G family. Was it tragic? Maybe. However, it was an enemy. A war between races. Ji Yao seemed to have fallen asleep in his arms. Fong Ping looked at the firelight in the sky, at Phoenix, at Ji Yao, and suddenly laughed. Little Phoenix, come down and walk with Ji Yao. Clang, clang. Cheerful cries rang out, and in the next moment, there was a flash of fiery light. A beautiful feather, wreathed in flames, fell down like a hairpin and helped Ji Yao tie up her hair. Fong Ping blasted the void with a punch. He carried Ji Yao and waved his hand. In the void, the broken spear that Ji Hong left behind fell into his hand. Fong Ping placed the spear beside Ji Yao and looked at the pitch-black void in front of him. He said softly, "Your father, you Phoenix Sparrow. Let's go together." After placing Ji Yao into the void, Fong Ping closed the void. Ji Yao's body emitted a faint glow. It was Fong Ping's power, which allowed her to not be cut by the void cracks in the void. The rift closed up. They vanished into thin air. War. Fong Ping suddenly looked at the sky and said coldly, "Where did war come from?" The celestial arch, the young god, the 9 sovereigns, and the emperor used the common people as chess pieces and the 3 realms as a chessboard. If you don't die, the heavens will not tolerate it, and I, Fong Ping, will not tolerate it. This was war. It didn't matter if you loved him or not. It was just that cruel. Fong Ping let out a cold harumph, swiftly suppressing everything. Looking at the sounds of killing that were gradually fading in all directions, he bellowed, "Today, I've killed a strong enemy." As the saying goes, the heaven is worse than dog, sh*t Li Zhu. Open your dog eyes and look. The 3 realms will not be like this forever. I hope you can wait until that day comes. I can see that day. Fong Ping's voice was icy cold. He let out a sneer and tore the void apart. In the next moment, the human powerhouses appeared at the entrance of the catacombs passageway. Go home. Celebrate. As long as I, Fong Ping, am not dead, the catacombs will not be in chaos. On you, listen up. If you mess up, you'll die. Fong Ping entered the passageway and returned to Earth. The army was still in the outland, but Fong Ping did not care. Do you dare to make a move? It was just that domineering. Right under your noses, killing in all directions. Not even a single heavenly king. Do you dare to make a move? I wouldn't dare. On this day, the Demon King's demonic might was matchless. On this day, millions of martial artists were killed in the catacombs. Martial artists. This did not include the catacombs' ordinary people who were implicated. Too many people had died. Rivers of blood flowed. In the outskirts of the catacombs, there were no martial artists. A large number of martial artists fled. Some took the risk and headed for the Forbidden Sea. Some fled to Mount Royal Sea, and some charged into the Forbidden Inner Area. Chaos. The catacombs were in complete chaos. The Heavenly Mandate Army was annihilated, and the entire G family died in battle. The Destiny Royal Court was also in chaos. As for the Heavenly Court, not long after Fong Ping left, a glaive descended. The newly built Heavenly Court was shattered instantly. Tens of thousands of Heavenly Court troops, without any power to fight back, all of them exploded into pieces. The plans of Li Zhu, Hong Yu, and the others were completely ruined. The catacombs were no longer peaceful and could never be unified. Countless people were utterly disappointed in these kings. This was the kings of the catacombs. The G family was also considered the real kings. At least when the Life King was alive, the catacombs were not in chaos. The Catacombs War, the Race War, the 100 Years of War, finally came to an end on this day. The outskirts that were fighting with the humans were almost completely annihilated this time. There were still some people who did not die. Fong Ping did not care. The war had only begun. It was not over yet. Could these people survive until the end? He felt that it was impossible. They would all die. The massacre had never stopped. On Earth, a celebration banquet was held. Rather than saying it was a celebration, it was more of a chance to cry and vent. This time, countless people were crying bitterly. They were sad, crying loudly. In the past 3 years, Fong Ping, Zhang Tao, and the others had done their best to protect the humans. While they were protecting the humans, Heavenly King Garrison and the others were also contributing. However, in the past 3 years, just in Sino Nation alone, there were hundreds of thousands of soldiers and martial artists who died in battle. In the entire world, there were more than 1 million people in all the holy lands and countries combined. The war had been too frequent in the past 3 years. Even if Fong Ping and the others were at the forefront, they still could not stop the casualties. 1 million people, 1 million families, this was only in the past 3 years. In the early days of neo-martial arts, the casualties were also very heavy. In the middle period, when both sides were testing each other, there was a short period of peace. At that time, the casualties were not too high. In less than 100 years, millions of people had died in battle. Fong Ping could not resolve this kind of hatred. In less than 100 years, it was not enough for people to forget this hatred. McMao. Fong Ping was lying on the rooftop of the school archives, drinking a little wine. He looked at the sky and pillowed the cat, looking somewhat relaxed. Bro? A sneaky laugh rang out. Fong Ping did not even turn his head. He crossed his legs, looked up at the starry sky, and laughed. What are you doing here? Didn't I tell you to stay at home? Bro, you won the war again. Mom and Dad asked me to come and see you. Fong Yuan laughed happily. She walked to Fong Ping's side and sat on the cat's head. The cat rolled its eyes. It was bad enough that a liar was using it as a pillow. Little chubby face was even worse. Ignoring her, the cat extended its neck a little, poked its head out, and continued to eat its dried fish. He had promised second cat and third cat that he would help them eat back. Now, the cat had to eat 12 meals a day. Otherwise, it would not count as 3 cats eating together. Fong Yuan giggled. She did not mind. She squeezed Fong Ping and said with a grin, Bro, why are you drinking? You didn't drink before. To me, there's no difference between alcohol and water. My mouth has no taste. Drinking some alcohol tastes better. Fong Yuan laughed again. Aren't you happy? Bro, you're amazing. This time, you even killed so many emperors and won the war. Seeing that Fong Ping did not speak, Fong Yuan said slyly, Is it because of that Ji Yao? You brat. Fong Ping laughed. It has nothing to do with her. I'm just a little sad. Yes, sad. He did not even know who he was sad for. The 3 realms had been in chaos for so many years. Too many people had died. He could not get over it. This time, however, he was indeed a little sad. Were the catacombs the enemy? Of course. But were the catacombs the ultimate enemy? No. They were the emperors. They were the main culprits. If he did not kill them, how could the 3 realms be at peace? I thought you were unhappy because of her, Fong Yuan muttered. Fong Ping chuckled. Don't let your imagination run wild. The catacombs are our biggest enemy. Do you think your bro will do anything because of a woman? Not to mention that we're just friends. Speaking of which, it's not the first time I've wanted to kill her. It's just a pity. Yes, it was a pity. He was not too sad, but he felt that it was a pity. It was a pity that they were both born in this chaotic world. Otherwise, they could have been friends. Fong Ping did not talk about this. He smiled. How's Mom and Dad lately? They're fine, but you don't go home, Fong Yuan said unhappily. You're already at the door. Why don't you go home? He was drinking here alone, but he did not go home. She was unhappy. Fong Ping smiled and said nothing. Go home? He did not really want to go home. It was not that he did not want to see them, but he was afraid that he would be even more reluctant to see them. People, after not seeing each other for a long time, their feelings would fade. They saw each other every day. If one day his parents lost their son, would they not be heartbroken? It was good now. Fong Yuan was at home, and his parents had company. It was good. If he passed away one day, he would not be too sad. As he thought about this, Fong Ping smiled. Do you think I'm very free? Am I drinking? I'm thinking about things and cultivating. I don't have that much free time. Tell Mom and Dad not to worry about me. Who in the 3 realms is not afraid of me now? What can happen to me? but I have too many things to do now. When I get rid of the enemy, I'll stay at home all the time. It's good to be at home." The cat suddenly interrupted, muttering, "You can eat regularly at home when it's mealtime. Now, you don't eat regularly at all. I think it's going to hurt your stomach." Bang! Fong Ping slapped its head. "If you say this again, I'll hammer you to death." Whose cat's 9 points would hurt their stomach? Whose family had 9 points and needed to eat 12 meals a day? Others might not even be able to eat 12 meals in 1,000 years, but you have to eat 12 meals a day. "I give up." Fong Yuan was grinning from ear to ear. She grabbed the cat's tail and played with it. "Brother, can you defeat those emperors?" "Of course." "Really? Nonsense. Have I ever boasted before?" Fong Ping said exasperatedly. "When have I, your brother, not won every battle? Tell me, in the past 3 years, have I, your brother, ever lost?" Fong Yuan nodded hurriedly. "Yes, winning every battle." That was Fong Ping. That was the king of man. Though she believed him, Fong Yuan was still a little worried. Her voice became softer as she whispered, "Brother, say." Fong Ping waited for a long time, but did not hear what she was going to say. He tilted his head and asked curiously, "Say what?" Fong Yuan scrunched up her face. She was a little hesitant and uneasy. After a while, she said in a low voice, "Brother, do you think it's possible to negotiate with the emperors? You said before that Minister Zhang." "Bastard!" Fong Ping barked coldly. He said angrily, "Don't blame me for beating you up if you talk nonsense again." Fong Yuan bit her lip so hard that it bled. Tears streamed down her cheeks. I'm scared. Mom and Dad are scared too. They often cry at night. Every time you leave, they will cry and suffer from insomnia. Brother, I know I'm selfish, but I don't want to be without you. Mom and Dad don't want to be without you either. Brother, do you know?" Fong Yuan choked. Lilia, her father, passed away. Fong Ping's expression darkened. He knew who Fong Yuan was talking about. Songya, Fong Yuan's classmate. Songya's father. Song Yingji. Fong Ping's lips trembled slightly. Song Yingji. Yes, the teacher who had argued for a long time, because Fong Ping had to charge him 1 credit as a processing fee when he checked out of the cultivation room. When Fong Ping was stronger than him and knew how to change his aura, he had even impersonated Qin Fengqing and knocked his head. Since then, Fong Ping had been asking him for money and threatening to make him clean the toilet if he did not pay up. Song Yingji was so angry that he decided to hide in the catacombs and never come out. Scenes of the past flashed through Fong Ping's mind. He quickly suppressed his sorrow and yelled, "There's no martial artist who doesn't die in battle. Besides, I'm much stronger than Teacher Song. What are you thinking about all day?" "Brother." Fong Yuan's tears streamed down her cheeks. She choked. I know I shouldn't think like this, but I'm really scared. I wasn't afraid before, but Teacher Song left and Teacher Bai is crippled. I'm scared. I'm scared that the next time I hear from you will be, brother. I'm really scared. I don't want to practice martial arts anymore. I regret it. I regret not stopping you when you wanted to practice martial arts. Brother, I want to go back to Sun City. Back to the old house. Back to the days when you cheated me of my food money every day. Brother, I'll give them all to you, okay? I won't steal snacks anymore. Our family will stay in Sun City. Fong Ping was in a trance. Was it a long time? Not long. It was only a little more than 3 years. Cheating her of her food money. He seemed to have done it before, right? For the sake of going online. Fong Ping often cheated the girl of her food money. Then, the two of them could fill their stomachs with rice at home. The little money grubber was very money grubber, but she was also very stupid. Fong Ping managed to cheat her every time. He succeeded every time. Every time. The girl would only realize it later and complain to her parents, saying that Fong Ping had cheated her again. Fong Ping seemed to have written her many IOUs. Every time, she promised to return them, but she always forgot. He remembered the first time he gave her money. She used it all to buy snacks. She even secretly shared half of it with him so that he would not complain. At that time, the days were hard, but they seemed happy. They had never eaten at McDonald's or bought KFC. They always felt that those places were not for them. They were too wasteful, too extravagant. Fong Ping fell silent. Fong Yuan choked. I know you won't agree to it. But I just want to say, brother, why do they have to make you fight? You've only cultivated for 3 years. You're only 21 years old. You haven't even married or had kids. Do you remember when the evil sect wanted to kill you during the New Year? I was scared then. I was scared that I wouldn't be able to see you again. Brother, Mom and Dad are coming to Magic City. I want to come to Magic City too. I just don't want you to lose your home. But now, Fong Ping said calmly, the country has fallen. Even if I return to Sun City, I won't be able to enjoy peace. Girl, peace is achieved by killing. Since I, your brother, have the ability, then I should kill to achieve peace. If I don't go and you don't go, how long can this prosperous era last? You've grown up. Don't be so childish. Old Zhang. So what if I give him to the emperor? I still have to fight and kill. Old Zhang isn't the key. The key is me, your brother. If I don't die, the emperor won't be at ease. I know, sob. Fong Yuan knew. She was not stupid. She knew how powerful and terrifying her brother was. But she also knew that the more powerful he was, the more likely her brother would die when the war started. They all wanted to kill him, but she was too afraid. She did not want Fong Ping to die. Killing the emperor? If it was just one person, Fong Yuan might not be so afraid. But there were so many of them. The 9 emperors were alive. The celestial emperor was alive. The sun god was alive. The celestial emperor was alive. Her brother was alone. How could he kill them? More than 100 million vitality. She dared not imagine it. Fong Yuan was choking. The ash cat's tail brushed her cheek as if comforting her. On one side of the rooftop, Zhang Tao had appeared out of nowhere. He sat on the edge of the rooftop and chuckled. He teased, "Fat girl, doesn't your conscience hurt when you sell me out?" Fong Yuan blushed, but she could not help saying, "But my brother is still young. He has been fighting in the catacombs since he was 18 years old. He has never stopped. He has never enjoyed anything. Even for you, I heard that you only fought in the catacombs after you were 20 years old. What about my brother? He's younger than your grandson. You have a son and a daughter, and many grandchildren." Zhang Tao was stunned. His smile faded. He sighed softly, speechless. Yes, he was too young. He was young. He had almost forgotten. Fong Ping darted him a look and said impatiently, "Now you know how to sigh. When you schemed against me, I didn't see you soften at all." "Who schemed against you?" Zhang Tao refused to admit it. Fong Ping humphed. "Forget it. If it wasn't for your interference during the Magic City battle and Dean Huang didn't die, I wouldn't have taken over MCMEU's commanding authority. I wouldn't have launched the Magic City battle at that time. This time, I've fallen into your trap. I can't leave even if I wanted to." "Don't accuse me wrongly," Zhang Tao said gloomily. "I really miscalculated that time. How can I be the one who schemed against you? You're slandering me out of thin air. Am I shameless? It's fine if you say that here. If you say it outside, people will think that I deliberately caused old Huang to die." "Shameless?" Fong Ping said disdainfully. "Shameless? Forget it. Forget it. I can't be bothered to argue with you. Even if you didn't do it on purpose, you must have wanted me to suffer a huge loss. Then, I'll behave myself, take over your baton, and inherit your position as minister. Anyway, after you've hatched this idea, I've been unlucky. I can't even escape now. You make it sound like you won't cause trouble if I don't let you take over my baton?" Zhang Tao was speechless. Then he laughed. "But your fat girl is right. You're too young. How about this, before the war breaks out, hurry up and get married. See if you can have a child. I'll think of a way to send him away and leave you a descendant. Even if an emperor kills people, can he really destroy the 3 realms? If that doesn't work, we can send him to the catacombs. What do you think?" Scram! Fong Ping flew into a rage out of humiliation and glared at him. Beside him, Fong Yuan's eyes lit up. She stared at Fong Ping with a burning gaze. Fong Ping's expression darkened. Suddenly, he reached out and pulled her cheek into a long line. What's a child looking at when adults are talking? Zhang Tao could not help but laugh when he saw this. He teased, "Fat girl, it's all your brother's fault that you're fat. If it were me, I definitely wouldn't tolerate it. I'd cultivate to the Emperor realm quickly and beat him up 3 times a day. Fang Yuan stuck her tongue out at him and said vaguely, I'm not fat. I said bad things about you just now. You kept calling me fat girl. We'll call it a draw. You're not allowed to hold a grudge or take revenge on my brother. Otherwise, I'll go to school and beat up Zhang Shui and Zhang Yin. Huh? Old Zhang burst into laughter. You and your brother are made from the same mold. This bastard has taken revenge on them many times in the past. As he said that, he laughed. I won't hold a grudge or take revenge. Don't worry, I won't be able to take revenge even if I wanted to. If you really kill me, you'll be able to bring peace to the human race. Sigh. Shaking his head, old Zhang sighed. That was impossible. Otherwise, it would be worth it to trade himself for the human race. Naturally, he understood that Fang Yuan did not want anything to happen to Fang Ping. As for what she said earlier, it was all because she listened to Fang Ping's propaganda in the Three Realms. Otherwise, the girl would not have mentioned it. Fang Ping let Fang Yuan go. He patted her head and smiled. Go home quickly and rest early. When you're free, go beat up Zhang Shui and the rest. Don't talk nonsense with those old fellows. In a few days, after we've killed those emperors, I'll be free. I'll supervise your martial arts practice. Look at you now. Brother, Fang Yuan pouted. I've already worked very hard, but I don't know what Fat Cat taught me. Until now, my origin path has yet to appear. Fang Ping could not help but laugh. What cultivation method? A beginner martial cultivation method. Where would you go to cultivate your origin path? Naturally, Fang Ping knew, but he did not care about this. It was quite good. Her origin path was severely flawed. Cultivating beginner martial arts was actually quite good. As for the cat that was mentioned, it was currently playing dead. Not this cat. This cat was illiterate. How could it teach people cultivation methods? Slander. A cat would not teach people. Go home and cultivate well. Don't worry about me. Nothing will happen to me. Don't worry. If there's any danger, I'll throw Fat Cat in front. Only when it's killed can it kill me. Don't worry. Meow. The cat looked aggrieved. It was bullying another cat. After Fang Ping sent Fang Yuan away, he looked at old Zhang and said with a smile, Tell me, what's the matter? Why haven't you changed your hobby of eavesdropping? Old Zhang was speechless. I'm here to ask you for something. Who's eavesdropping? As he said that, he quickly said, First, I want the Emperor God's avatar's flesh. Second, I want one of the Emperor Gods and Emperor Heaven Reverse's weapons. Third, if you want to go to the source ground, bring me along. I want to go too. Fourth, make some arrangements. Your sister. Your sister. Fang Ping rolled his eyes. Who was he scolding? Get lost. Zhang Tao scolded. What are you interrupting for? Your sister, as well as some young people, gathered together. The plan to escape through the starry sky back then has failed. Now, I have discussed it with old Ghost Shun. The God Creation Envoy has a divine artifact that can survive in the crevice of space like the skies beyond. Later, get this divine artifact, send people in, cut open the void, and exile them. Live 1 year at a time. There are too many void cracks. Even if it's a sovereign, can they tear open the cracks one by one to find them? We're too strong and can't hide. Your sister and the others can still do it. There doesn't need to be too many people. About 1,000 people will do. Leave a seed. Fang Ping closed his eyes. After a long time, he opened them and said, I'll listen to you. Both of them looked at each other and said nothing more. The plan to leave a seed also meant that both of them did not have the confidence to survive this. At the same time, it also meant that the Great War was coming. At this moment, the previous great victory had become a thing of the past. The catacombs and the Emperor's avatar were not the key. The key was still the Emperor himself. That was a threat. The pressure of the Great War made it hard for both of them to breathe. Old Zhang wanted almost everything, all the spoils of war. Fang Ping knew what he meant. When the Great War came, the martial king would not be a spectator. He wanted to participate in the war. Fang Ping did not refuse. It would be strange if old Zhang did not participate in the war and was a spectator. Even without these things, he would definitely participate in the war. If he participated in the war between emperors, he might as well become stronger. Chapter 1420. Global High Martial Arts Update will be delayed. Currently in the middle of typing. Please wait a moment. After the content has been updated, please refresh the page to receive the latest update. Chapter 1421. The others were still celebrating, but Fong Ping and Zhang Tao had no time to do so. They had to seize every second to become stronger. Zhang Tao wanted the Emperor God's avatar and a divine weapon. He wanted to strengthen himself. Fong Ping wanted to strengthen himself too. This time he had gained a lot, but old Zhang took a lot. In the end, Fong Ping only left behind a Heaven Reverse Emperor's divine weapon and the mentality crystal of the Beast Emperor's avatar that he killed in a surprise attack. The other Emperor avatars, seeing how powerful Fong Ping was, would not leave anything good for Fong Ping before they died. This time, other than these, Fong Ping had also obtained a divine weapon. The flying carpet that sealed the void was also a huge gain. Old Zhang took the other benefits, but did not leave. Instead, he asked in a low voice, "Was it Qin Fengqing who slashed at the Forbidden Sea?" "Probably." Fong Ping was not too sure. He replied, "It could also be someone else who did it to confuse the public. After all, I'm not the only one who wants to weaken the Emperor God. The Emperors also want the Emperor God to be weaker." Having said that, Fong Ping added, "But the possibility of it being him is not small. How can he be so powerful? Is it because of the seed? If it's him, then it must be because of the seed." Zhang Tao's expression changed. Since he can find the seed, and the emperors of the three realms are all here for the seed, then let him tell them the seed's location. We can move the humans away in advance. If the emperors want the seed, then they will have to get it themselves. Zhang Tao felt that maybe this was also a way to solve the crisis. If that person was Qin Fengqing, then he was abnormally powerful. Maybe it was really the seed that caused it. A seed illusion had made the powerhouses of the three realms much stronger. The Tao Tree and the Boy Servant had broken through 9 levels, and even the Spirit Emperor's avatar had broken through 9 levels. If Qin Fengqing could find the real seed and break through 9 levels, then it was acceptable. Fong Ping shook his head. Not likely. If he could say it, I'm afraid he would have said it. But since he hid from us and refused to show up, we don't know where it is either. After all, the seed may have other means. Or he knows where the seed is, but can't say it. There's another possibility. He may be closely related to the seed. If the seed is gone, he may die. If so, this guy may not tell everyone where the seed is. Zhang Tao fell silent. Actually, he knew that the chances were not high. Otherwise, if Qin Fengqing really made a move today, he would have shown himself. But he didn't. Obviously, Qin Fengqing didn't want to come into contact with them now. Taking a deep breath, Zhang Tao quickly smiled and said, "Since he is willing to help, it means that he is helping the human race. In that case, having one more person to help is a good thing." There was no need to force it. At least it was better than before. At least it proved that this fellow was willing to help. Even if it was to weaken the God Emperor, to save himself, or to save the seeds, it was still a good thing. Fong Ping nodded. He was not asking for anything. He had not included Qin Fengqing in his preparations for the great battle. This fellow's help was a pleasant surprise. If he did not help, as long as he did not cause trouble, Fong Ping could pretend that he did not exist. Very quickly, Fong Ping asked, "Has Daoist Feng Yun sent the materials over?" Zhang Tao rolled his eyes. What was he thinking? Do you really think he's your son? Do you think I'll do it just because you want me to? Fong Ping said with absolute certainty, "Don't worry. If this guy is the earthly sovereign, then he'll make things difficult for others. Whether it's to ruin other people's plans or to seek revenge, he'll tell us. Get someone to keep an eye on the catacombs. We might receive news soon." Also, this time you guys, Fong Ping did not know that they had other plans. Later, he heard from Heavenly King subduing that they went up to 9th heaven and secretly destroyed the immortal source's control over their own Tao. Fong Ping did not know if they succeeded. Old Zhang smiled and nodded slightly. However, he quickly transmitted his voice. The God Creation Envoy did leave a secret door for the immortal source. However, the situation was tense at that time. The God Emperor and Dongwang's divine weapons arrived very quickly. If not for someone secretly restraining the Donghuang divine weapon, we would not have had a chance to succeed. However, there are not many people. The God Creation Envoy replaced his mine and Li Zhen's Dao. Now, our Dao is not out of the control of the immortal source. After all, it's easy to attract the attention of the Emperor. When needed, we can quickly pass off the fake as the real one. Fong Ping suddenly heaved a sigh of relief. That was good. The immortal source was a huge hidden danger. Now that it controlled almost all the Dao in the three realms, it was too easy for problems to occur. If the problem of being controlled was not solved, even if you broke 9 and proved your Dao, you might not be able to get rid of the control. At that time, the Dao would become a sharp weapon that would bite back at you. The two of them talked for a while. Zhang Tao finally said, "If you go to the source, you must inform me. Also, Yao Qingjun has not appeared until now. I don't know if there's a problem. I'll get someone to look around and get him to return as soon as possible." Yao Qingjun had also been out for a long time. There was some news before, but there was no news at all recently. He did not know if something had happened. Otherwise, the conversation between Fong Ping and the Emperor during the Great War of the Three Realms was huge. With such a huge commotion, he should have rushed back. Fong Ping nodded. "Get someone to look for him. Also, I'm going to walk around Earth again in the next few days. Taking advantage of this great victory, there might be benefits. Let's see if we can integrate some more cities. Also, get the God Creation Envoy to prepare. I'll go find him in 2 days and get him to help me fuse the divine weapon. All right, be careful." Fong Ping exhaled and said, "At this time, the calmer the wind and the more terrifying it is. This time, if someone were to descend again, it would definitely be the Emperor's true body. It would be fine if they were to descend with great fanfare." He was afraid that these guys would descend in secret. Walking through the Forbidden Sea area might not cause too much of a commotion. If they were to sneak into Earth, then there would be big trouble. Get someone to keep an eye on the Forbidden Sea. Once there is any movement, report immediately. If an individual emperor descends, we may not be afraid of them. However, if we are targeted one by one and defeated one by one, then it will be a huge problem. Don't worry, I have arrangements for this. After the two of them finished talking, Zhang Tao got up and was about to leave. Before he left, he thought for a while and suddenly turned his head. "I still have to thank you. Otherwise, Zhang Wu would not have been able to return. Star Polaris didn't say anything. It's because of you. Otherwise, I'm afraid they wouldn't have let it go so easily." Fong Ping laughed. The seniors in Star Polaris are still reasonable. As for those young people, they might not know much. It's fine even if they know. What do these people know? That's right. Zhang Tao did not deny this at this moment. He laughed and said, "That's why everyone is reasonable. They know who you are killing countless for. Don't care about some rumors. Those who know won't think that you are killing for the sake of killing. Those who don't know, that means they don't have the right to know. It's fine if these kinds of people say a few words, but if they dare to have other thoughts, it's not like the humans can't point their knives at these people. Don't worry, I will make arrangements. Let's not talk about whether we can win now. Even if we are sure, it's not to the point where we will scatter and cook the dogs. Then they will have to cook me first." Fong Ping laughed. "I don't really care about these things. At most, I'll just feel bad. These people are at most ruining my reputation. What else can they do? The key is, what I want a reputation for. Do I really want to be the Holy Lord?" "You brat." Zhang Tao could not help but laugh. He waved his hand and said no more, leaving quickly. After Zhang Tao left, no one came to look for Fong Ping. They all knew that Fong Ping was very busy now. They knew that he had a lot of things to do. No one would disturb him at this time. Fong Ping also stopped letting his imagination run wild. He quickly disappeared from MCMEU and began the next stage of strengthening himself. Absorb the Beast Emperor's mentality crystallization, strengthen himself, continue to integrate the city, and expand the origin. This was Fong Ping's current plan. First, strengthen himself. Then, through Wang Ruobing and the others, enter the origin and see if he could improve himself again. In the next few days, very few people knew what Fong Ping was doing. However, Heavenly King Jin and the others knew that in these few days, some cities on Earth had experienced some tremors. Many people thought that it was caused by Earth's recovery. Previously, when the seed projection overflowed with vitality, there were tremors in many places recently. Not many people cared about these. Some people became stronger out of nowhere. They thought that it was because of the seed. However, some people also guessed something. This was very similar to Fong Ping's integration of Magic City and Sun City. Fong Ping continued on the path of integration. He defeated the catacombs, killed countless catacombs martial artists, and took revenge. Now, the humans' recognition of Fong Ping was even higher. Under such circumstances, in addition to some publicity arranged by Zhang Tao, Fong Ping's integration was even easier. On Earth, Fong Ping was integrating the 4 cities to strengthen himself. At the same time, the catacombs was in chaos. In the Divine Sect Basilica, the few Broken Eights had been silent for a long time. Following the complete defeat of the outer region, the Ji family's Destiny Army had all died in battle. The catacombs' recognition of powerhouses like them had suddenly decreased by countless times. Although they dared not resist these powerhouses, they no longer had the feeling of having someone to rely on when the Heavenly Court was established. Today, some catacomb citizens did not say anything. They did not dare to show any abnormalities. However, many people had secretly erected a monument for the Ji family in their homes. Now, they were praying that the Ji family's heroic spirits could protect them. They would rather believe in the dead than believe that the Heavenly Court's powerhouses could protect them and give them a sense of security. As for the Ji family, before Ji Hong died, he had betrayed the Heavenly Court. In the Basilica, everyone was like stone statues. After an unknown amount of time, Hong Kuan said slowly, Fong Ping has broken through 9 levels. Song Mao has broken through 9 levels. Heavenly Guardian King has broken through 9 levels. The humans are becoming stronger. This is a good thing, but also a bad thing. Right now, I don't care how strong the humans are. I'm more concerned about, is Daoist Fengyan my father? He looked at Hong Yu. Hong Yu looked helpless. He said softly, Daoist Fengyan has been in your divine sect for thousands of years. Don't you know? He felt that Hong Kuan's question was a slap in the face. What can we know? You should be the one who knows. Daoist Fengyan had been in the divine sect for a long time. He was the divine sect's guardian. The demon emperor frowned. Hong Kuan, didn't you notice anything? No. King Kuan said calmly, I didn't notice anything unusual. Daoist Fengyan existed before the Heavenly Court was destroyed. I don't think he has been replaced. Could it be that someone has been planning this since then? Daoist Fengyan did not appear suddenly. He had always existed. Therefore, he did not think too much about it. After thinking for a while, he said, however, he was also a member of the Earth Palace in the past. Do you think he's a backup arranged by my father? Hong Yu was not sure. Hong Kuan said coldly, back then, didn't the emperors ask you to build God Dynasty to lure my father out? Don't you know anything? Back then, didn't Hong Yu build God Dynasty to lure the earthly sovereign out? Those emperors did not believe that the earthly sovereign had been completely destroyed. They suspected that he used Nirvana to act secretly. However, he failed that time and did not lure the earthly sovereign out. Hong Yu looked at Hong Kuan and said after a while, of course I know something. For example, back then, there were emperors who determined that you are my father's incarnation. The destruction of the God Dynasty had a lot to do with Hong Kuan. Back then, there were emperors who guessed that Hong Kuan had been replaced by the earthly sovereign. Later, someone monitored and felt that it was not Hong Kuan. That meant that Hong Kuan was still Hong Kuan. However, it was also a fact that the God sect had destroyed the God Dynasty's plan to unify the 3 realms. Until now, there were still emperors who felt that Hong Kuan and the earthly sovereign should be related. As the brothers spoke, Feng chuckled and said, Hong Kuan, Since Taoist Feng Yun was in the God sect, and the God sect had destroyed the God dynasty's plan, did Taoist Feng Yun instigate you to do that, or did you do it on your own accord? How do you know that the earthly sovereign's clone is fake? King Kuan thought for a while, and said after a while, I suspected it was fake from the beginning. When father left, he told me that he might not come back for a long time. Even if he came back, he might not come back in a righteous manner. I didn't understand, then later, I understood. I'm afraid my father already knew that he was in danger and that the other 9 emperors might target him. The death of Zhang Tiandi had a lot to do with my father. At that time, my father was already the target of everyone. If not for Zhang Tiandi's death, my father might have been the first emperor to be killed. Therefore, my father must have expected this and was even prepared to be killed. Perhaps he had arranged an escape route and was hiding in the dark. Therefore, when Hong Yu returned with great fanfare as my father, I knew that there was a trap. Others might not understand my father or Hong Yu, but I know very well. Hong Kuan knew Hong Yu. That was why he felt that there was a problem. At this moment, Li Zhu suddenly laughed. I heard that the God sect had 2 leaders in the beginning. King Kuan and brother Yu were both leaders. I don't know why, but the 2 of you separated later on. Can the 2 of you talk about this today? Was the secret of the 3 realms still a secret? Fong Ping had already exposed his shocking secret. His secret was actually not that big of a deal. Hong Yu glanced at Hong Kuan, then at the rest. He smiled and said slowly, that was indeed the case in the beginning. However, I met someone later on and changed my original plan. I didn't want to stay in the God sect and chose to leave. Hong Kuan said coldly, when you suddenly disappeared that year, I thought that you had been ambushed and killed. After that, Tianji, Tianming, and the rest appeared and followed you. I knew then that something was wrong. You were not dead. If you did not leave and we joined forces, the God sect would have unified the 3 realms long ago. If we unified the 3 realms, you and I might have broken 9 already. Hong Yu sighed. That's impossible. Could you and I really go up against the Patrol's faction back then? There are many heavenly kings over there. As for you and me, I was still a saint back then, and you had only broken 7. Therefore, when I found out about the Patrol's existence and that these people were not dead, I gave up on this idea and chose to join the Patrol. Hong Kuan said coldly, who bewitched you? The Emperor. Hong Kuan was not too surprised. He was just puzzled. He frowned. Him again? What is the Emperor trying to do? If he cared about the Patrol, he would not have allowed them to be killed. However, he created an inspector, and last time he was forced to retreat by our joint forces. This time, his true body is here, but he is not willing to stand up for us. What is the Emperor thinking? The feeling this Emperor gave them was more and more complicated, more and more mysterious. Hong Yu thought for a while and said softly, the Emperor's plans are huge. Actually, I have investigated a little over the years. Father's death back then might have something to do with him. Hong Yu frowned. The deaths of Zhang Tiandi and the others are closely related to him. Now, all of you know that back in the heavenly courts, it was the Emperor who betrayed Father and Zhang Tiandi. Zhang Tiandi died because of that. After that, Father also died because of that. Celestial the Archbatian and Celestial the Arch-Exterminate died as well. The Emperor looks inconspicuous and did not gain much from it. But he still enjoys it and has always been active. The Emperor, the few of them were a little strange at the mention of the Emperor. As they learned more and more about the ancient secrets were exposed, they felt that the Emperor must have played a special role in all of this. The Emperor's seed, Qin Fengqing, Zhang Tiandi, the names circled in their minds. Soon, Li Zhu's eyes flickered. Did Zhang Tiandi mention about using the seed to fill the hole in the source? Hong Yu thought for a while and said slowly, back then, he was on good terms with Father and stayed in the Earth Palace for a period of time. At that time, the problem with the source worsened. Later, when the immortal source was being forged, Father and the Emperor were talking about this. Father seemed to have mentioned this. Hong Kuan also recalled and said quickly, Zhang Tiandi wanted the Celestial the Arch to guard the source and the 9 emperors to help. Those who broke their Tao, and those who scattered their cultivation dispersed their cultivation. He should have mentioned the seed before. Back then, it was not a secret among their group. Jean Tiany also felt that to solve the problem of the source, we should let the seed appear and fill the hole in the source. Li Zhu said again, what about the earthly emperors? Naturally, Imperial Father also agrees. Needless to say, the Celestial Arch and the others all had the same idea. Li Zhu's eyes lit up. If that's the case, the Emperor did not gain any benefits from these changes. Instead, he was put in a difficult position. The Celestial Arch and the others were wary of him. His most outstanding disciple died. He was scolded by the human world and his reputation was ruined. Li Zhu continued. But don't forget, when the immortal source was first built, the 9 emperors did not plan to attack the human world. They also did not plan for this 10,000 years. All of this only started after that. In that case, it meant that there was a huge problem with the immortal source project, and it was not as simple as it had been in the beginning, where the seeds could be lured out and directly filled in the pit. How did the immortal source project fail? Li Zhu murmured. The Celestial Arch and the 9 emperors felt that this problem could be solved. Otherwise, there was no need to forge the immortal source. In the beginning, the immortal source was not to control the great Tao of the 3 realms. The Emperor did not seem to have done anything, but he killed Jean Tiany and the others. Then, the earthly Emperor died. The Celestial Arch fell into the source. The other emperors had no choice but to be trapped in the source. When Li Zhu said this, everyone's mind raced. Soon, Feng Xiao said, the Emperor did not gain anything. The only winner in all of this is the seed. The seed did not appear, and the pit was not filled. Even now, everyone is still looking for the seed. Everyone looked at each other. The beast the arch said coldly, you mean that the Emperor did all of this to protect the seed? That's right. Li Zhu nodded. Yes, to protect the seed. The plan to lure the seed out is already in progress. Since Jean Tiany said that he could solve the problem, I suspect that Jean Tiany already has a way to find the seed. But the Emperor is his teacher. Jean Tiany must have convinced the Emperor before, and the Emperor must have agreed. That's why Jean Tiany managed to convince the other emperors. But the Emperor failed on the earthly Emperor's side. The Emperor knew that the seed was dangerous, so he purposely caused trouble on the earthly Emperor's side. He even tried to sow discord. Then, he used the excuse that the earthly Emperor and Jean Tiany might join forces and kill the other emperors. Then he killed Jean Tiany. The moment he said this, everyone's expression changed. The Emperor might be the seed's protector. If that's the case, many things can be explained. Li Zhu murmured. The 9 sovereigns and 4 emperors, the Celestial Emperor and the Yang God. Among these 15 people, some were the seed's protectors, some wanted to snatch the seed, and some wanted to fix the flaw in the source. In the end, these people had internal problems and cracks appeared that led to the war in the heavenly realm. The change in the immortal source plan should not have been caused by the Emperor alone. There might be many emperors. That means there might be 2 or even 3 emperors now. Li Zhu exhaled. If that's the case, if the one who attacked was Qin Fengqing and he was related to the Emperor, then Qin Fengqing might be this generation's protector, the seed's protector. Their goal should be to protect the seed. If that's the case, the Emperor and the others would not kill Feng Ping. Instead, they would let Feng Ping and the other emperors fight. They would buy time or even kill the others so that the seed could be safe. Anyone who had designs on the seed was their enemy, including the Celestial Emperor, their disciples, their friends and relatives. The seed might not have been sleeping all these years. They might have planned it all along. Everyone's eyes flickered. Was that true? The Emperor and Qin Fengqing, and even others, were the seed's protectors? That meant that all these years, there was actually a force in the 3 realms that had been neglected. The seed's force? The few of them found it hard to believe. But at the same time, they felt that Li Zhu's idea was reasonable. Otherwise, there was no way to explain why there would be such a huge change in the plan. Chapter 14:22. The 9th Heaven. Near the source of the immortal, 3 tall god-fiends sat cross-legged in 3 directions, guarding the immortal source. Emperor of Heaven reverse, Emperor Dong Huang, and Emperor Ren Huang. Among the 9 sovereigns and 1 emperor, these 3 were the best. Their combat strength was unparalleled. All of them were top-notch emperors. At this moment, the 3 of them kept silent. After a while, Emperor Dong Huang suddenly said, Fong Ping said that part of the energy he borrowed came from the 3 emperors. Dong Huang's expression was calm, yet he revealed a wisp of a playful expression. The 3 emperors. When the 3 emperors died, their corpses exploded. How many people collected the corpses? Emperor Dong Huang was no longer calm. He smiled. I remember Dou collected some. Yang suddenly appeared and took some as well. Cheong didn't care about this. Oh, gee, I think you took some as well. Emperor Ren Huang chuckled. Oh, you're making wild guesses. Be careful not to fall into Fong Ping's trap. Plus, what method could I use to train Fong Ping to this level so quickly? He did not have the capability. Emperor Dong Huang snorted. Gee, no need to be so humble. Brother Hao, you have overestimated me. Overestimated? That's not necessarily true. Emperor Dong Huang looked at him and mumbled. Today, some things have come to light, haven't they? Back then, something happened to the source of the immortal. It was supposed to stop the source from developing so that we would have enough time to solve the problem. But what happened? Emperor Dong Huang said coldly. In the end, the source of the immortal had a huge problem. The source of the immortal was tampered with. The energy that was no longer leaking started to leak. Is it possible to say that it has nothing to do with Brother Dou? Emperor Dong Huang looked at Emperor Ren Huang. Not only Brother Dou, gee, did you not get involved? He had come to a conclusion. Back then, there were people guarding the source of the immortal, but there was still a problem. Someone tampered with it. Who did it? Brother Dou, gee, Hong, the 3 of you must have done something. Emperor Dong Huang sneered. Brother Dou did it for your Tao of energy. Hong did it for transcendence. Gee, what did you do it for? You destroyed the source of the immortal and ruined Celestial Emperor's plan. You ruined Zhan's plan. You made the problem of the source unsolvable. All the powerhouses of the immortal were trapped. The human emperor smiled. Brother Hao, why are you so sure that I did something? In the past, I was not the only one guarding the immortal origin. Everyone was guarding it. The human emperor said playfully. Brother Hao, didn't you join the battle too? Celestial the Arch wanted Brother Hao to plug the hole, and Zhan also wanted you to plug the hole. You agreed so readily, but in the end, you still took advantage of the situation and attacked Celestial the Arch and Zhan. On the other side, Heavenly Emperor Reverse, who had been silent all this while, said softly at this moment, let's not talk about anything else now and focus on Fong Ping. What is the purpose of Fong Ping's existence? The Emperor of Heaven Reverse said softly, in the 3 realms, some people are here to fix the flaw of the origin. Some are here to transcend. Some are here for seeds. What about Fong Ping? Emperor of Heaven Reverse said slowly, Fong Ping's existence is to protect the human race. However, was he needed to protect the human race? With Martial King Zhang Tao and Heavenly King subduing King, Fong Ping should not have appeared. His appearance had strengthened the human race, but it had also put some people in danger. Whose chess piece is he? According to Li Zhu's guess, Qin Fengqing was protecting the seed. Emperor of Heaven Reverse was also protecting the seed. The purpose of Heavenly King subduing's existence should be to protect the Sun God for the peace of the human race. Martial King subduing's existence might be to lure the seed out. Among the 9 sovereigns and 4 emperors, some were here for the origin, some for the seed. Then, what was the purpose of Fong Ping's existence? Fong Ping, who had broken through 9 levels, was still unquestioned. They seemed to be letting him develop as he pleased. Whose arrangement was this? The Emperor's side. Fong Ping is a variable. I thought he was the seed's choice to save itself. Now it seems that it is not so. That's right. Emperor of Heaven Reverse laughed. Then, is his purpose to create trouble? To protect the human race? At this moment, Emperor Dong Huang smiled faintly. Do you think it was the human race's own consciousness that created Fong Ping? There were too many chess players in the 3 realms. Among them, the human race occupied an important position. Then, did the human race give birth to Fong Ping in order to save themselves? Speaking of the human race, gee, does this have nothing to do with you? The emperor could not help but laugh. It really has nothing to do with me. As I said, I don't have the ability to cultivate Fong Ping. He is not my chess piece. Emperor Dongwang did not deny it, but he still said coldly, even if he has nothing to do with you, I'm afraid Yang and Jun are involved with you. At this point, Emperor Dongwang was not stupid. He had guessed something. Yang, Jun, and Ji might all be on the same side. The person who attacked earlier had some seed aura. In this case, the four of them might all be on the same side. Which side were they on? The seed side. Celestial Emperor, Qiong, and the others were on the same side. First, they wanted to repair the origin. Second, they wanted to transcend. As for Emperor North and Emperor West, they had similar goals. However, there was no obvious division between them. They simply wanted to become stronger. As for Do, he might have his own thoughts. Replace Celestial Emperor, replace the origin, forge the path of energy, and turn the three realms into a combat realm? This possibility was not small. As for Fong Ping, at this moment, Emperor Dongwang did not suspect the Emperor, but Do. He might be the backup plan of Celestial Emperor Reverse. Celestial Emperor Reverse was unpredictable. Many years ago, he was the one who competed with Celestial Emperor and Yang God. He was even stronger than Xiong and Hao. He had been on the beginner path. Later on, he did not follow the rules and followed the path of origin. Instead, he created the path of energy. If there were three giants in the three realms, apart from Celestial Emperor and Yang God, the other one would not be Emperor Shenhuang, but Do. Emperor Donghuang calculated the power of the three emperors. Did they have to be corpses? Couldn't they be corpses when they were alive? The three emperors trusted Do and regarded him as their elder brother. When they were alive, they often talked to Do, and Do often gave them pointers. Could Do not collect the power of the three emperors? Even if he could not collect it, maybe he could make it himself. Fong Ping, Do. Do wanted to take the path of energy and replace the path of origin. It was in his interest to turn people into variables and disrupt the three realms. He even hoped that Fong Ping would destroy the path of origin and the beginner path. From then on, the three realms would embark on the path of energy. Was it Do? Emperor Dongwang guessed. He had some guesses about Emperor Dongwang's purpose, but Emperor Heaven Reverse was too mysterious. Even if he was also an ancient beginner, he did not know much about Emperor Heaven Reverse. However, if he listed all the people, Emperor Heaven Reverse was the most suspicious. At this moment, Emperor Dongwang suddenly said, the small world that Yang God created in the past was destroyed, but was it really destroyed? Could Fong Ping really be one of the people who walked out of it? Yang God. Emperor Dongwang's gaze changed. Was it Do or Yang God? Did Fong Ping walk out of that small world? Emperor Dongwang thought for a while and said lightly, that small world is actually not perfect. Not long after the Yang God was created, Celestial Emperor discovered it. He knew that Celestial Emperor wanted to replace the three realms' origin and destroy that small world. It should have been completely destroyed back then. Even if someone did survive, it should have happened a long time ago, not now. I think someone is trying to confuse us, deliberately leading Fong Ping to the Yang God. This was his speculation. Thinking of this, he looked at Emperor Heaven Reverse again. That person might be Emperor Heaven Reverse. Fong Ping did not appear early. He appeared very late. Then there were only three people who had the time and opportunity to do this. No for people. Yang God, Emperor Heaven Reverse, Earthly Sovereign, and Divine Sovereign. While the others were trapped, the four of them could still move around. Then, could it be that these four people secretly orchestrated something to create Fong Ping? His target of suspicion was once again Emperor Heaven Reverse. Emperor Heaven Reverse, on the other hand, spoke very little at this moment. The three of them fell into silence. As for what speculation and what thoughts they had, only they themselves knew, while they were making their own guesses. The feng shui list was updated again. Emperor list. 13th. Heavenly King subduing. 50 to 70 million. 14th. Devil King Fong Ping, 40 to 60 million. 15th. Qin Fengqing, 4,000 dash. 16th. Unknown, suspected to be Fong Ping's ally, suspected to be Broken 9. Whether he exists or not, doubtful. What a strange list. Very strange. The strength of the 4 people at the bottom was uncertain. Including Heavenly King subduing, the gap was more than 20 million calories. And Fong Ping was the same. The 15th Qin Fengqing was also a question mark, which meant that Daoist Feng Yun could not confirm his identity. The 16th person was Daoist Feng Yun's own speculation. That day, he was in the Forbidden Sea. He sensed something different, but could not trace it. He was not sure if this Broken 9 existed, but he guessed that it did. Hence, this strange feng shui list was created. There were suddenly 3 more people on the Emperor list. Not 1, but 3. This shocked everyone again. It was not Fong Ping and the guy who might be Qin Fengqing, but the last one. Mysterious, representing the unknown and fear. Fong Ping had a backup plan. He had a helper of Broken 9. Who was it? In the 3 realms, many ancient martial artists were guessing, but they could not confirm the target. Study boy. Not many people thought about him. Back then, he was not well known. Jean was just a study boy. Although there were few people around Jean, and the study boy was Jean's descendant, the study boy was not strong back then. He was not even a heavenly king. Not many people noticed the study boy. So, who was this unknown powerhouse now? Since Daoist Feng Yun had made a list, based on the accuracy of Daoist Feng Yun's list in the past, the possibility of this person's existence was very high. There was really another existence of Broken 9 in the 3 realms. Everyone was guessing. Some guessed that he might be some ancient beginner martial artist. Some guessed that he might be a disciple of one of the emperors back then, hiding in secret. The emperor list had changed greatly. The Broken 8 list had also changed greatly. First, God Creation 2nd, Hong Kuan 3rd, Hong Yu 4th, Nether God 5th, Monster Emperor 6th, Feng 7th, Tengu 8th, Heavenly Arm 9th, Zhang Tao 10th, Longevity Sword. This was yet another unexpected result. Among the top 10, other than the Dead Fist God and Fong Ping who had entered Broken 9, someone else was missing. Tian Chun. Yes, Tian Chun was missing. Was he dead? No. Since he was not dead, where was Tian Chun? Looking down the feng shui list, someone saw Tian Chun at the bottom of the Broken 7 list. They were shocked. What was going on? Soon, someone connected it to Fong Ping's ever-changing strength. 40 million, 60 million. In their hearts, they gradually had some guesses. Tian Chin's disappearance was actually not a big deal. King Wu and Longevity Sword entered the top 10, but everyone still could not understand it. How was it possible? How could these 2 enter the top 10? Especially Longevity Sword, who was first in the Saint realm previously. In the blink of an eye, he entered the top 10 after breaking 8. It was somewhat unbelievable. The 3 realms was shaken again. Congratulations, Prince. While the 3 realms was shaken, someone scolded, "Congratulations, my ass." Celestial Fate could not help but scold. The Palm Imprint Envoy had entered Broken 8. Zhang Tao entered the top 10 after breaking 8, and Azura God, who was ranked 3rd, was killed a few days ago. He, who was ranked 4th after breaking 7, did not do anything, but he was ranked 1st after breaking 7. First without doing anything. He was truly ranked 1st without doing anything. In this battle, the others had more or less participated. He did not care at all and did not participate. He knew that it was not a good thing, so he did not go out at all. In the end, he was ranked 1st after breaking 7. This was too obvious. At this moment, Shengnan was still congratulating him. Celestial Fate almost wanted to hammer him to death. How did he become 1st after breaking 7? He was still in a daze. How did he become 1st? Celestial Fate said angrily, "Not many people noticed me before. Now, I'm 1st after breaking 7. How could no one notice?" No matter how low his presence was, he was still 1st. Obviously, a lot of people probably only remembered him now. Celestial Fate was extremely depressed. He did not need it. Seriously, Fong Ping, why did you kill Azura God? Otherwise, Even if he was ranked second now, he would still be stronger than first. He was too innocent. Below, Sheng Nan and Sheng Hong were a little helpless. But soon, celestial fate suddenly heaved a sigh of relief. Tian Chen's ranking suddenly dropped. Maybe his Dao was stripped away. It's very likely that Fong Ping took it. If that's the case, he probably won't be interested in breaking 7. Forget it, it's not a big deal. He looked past it. Tian Chen's Dao might have been taken away by Fong Ping. He was a peak powerhouse who had broken 8. What was he, who had broken 7? Fong Ping probably wouldn't be interested. If that was the case, he would not argue with Daoist Feng Yun. That bastard. Why did he rank himself first? Sheng Hong was speechless. He thought for a while and said, Prince, is Western Palace still wandering outside? Right now, the 3 realms are in turmoil. After all, we still cultivate the Tao of Origins. If we don't participate in the upcoming Battle of Origins, we might die in our sleep. Could he not fight? Sheng Hong felt that it was impossible. If he fought for it, there would still be hope. If he didn't fight, he might really die in his sleep. Of course, they would not fall asleep. Heaven's Extremity said snappily, How are we supposed to compete? Now people are dying every day in the 3 realms. A large number of people have died when breaking through 9. A large number have died when breaking through 8. Could it be that you want me to die? What does breaking 7 count for in the 3 realms? But no buts. Heaven's Limit impatiently interrupted him and said in a somewhat depressed tone, I don't know what the old man is doing. Others are plotting against him, but he is also plotting against them. The key is that others are powerful, but what about him? Now he's still involved in this matter. I have no idea what he's trying to do. Over at Emperor West Side, Celestial Pole didn't know what was going on. It was already very strange when the 9 clones entered the mystic realm. This time it was even stranger. Previously, when the old man's doppelganger descended to the 9th heaven, he actually contacted the Western Imperial Palace and asked the Celestial Pole to come out. Come out my ass! Even Heaven's fate couldn't be bothered with him, so I didn't want to court death. What was that old man trying to do? Right now, even Celestial Pole couldn't understand it. Emperor Shi's ranking in the Emperor ranking wasn't high. He couldn't understand it, and he was too lazy to try. It was right now to go out. Let them fight. Fight until the sky fell and the earth cracked. As long as the origin didn't explode, he wouldn't die. If he didn't die, he might even be able to pick up the first position in the future. If he died, then there would be nothing left. Celestial Pole was too lazy to go out. Fong Ping didn't really care about the changes in the wind and cloud list. Right now, he was more concerned about the information he had just received. Very interesting. Interesting enough to make Fong Ping wonder if Daoist Feng Yun was fooling him. This guy really sent him information. Divine Emperor, God Creation Envoy Do, Hongquan Dong Huang, Tengu, Wang Jiang Earthly Emperor, Palm Print, Hong Yu, Li Zhu Human Emperor, Weapon Master Dead, King Wu North Emperor, Demon Emperor, Moon Spirit, Li Hansong Beast Emperor, Demon Emperor, Wan West Emperor, Shi Pu, Feng Li Zhu Emperor Nan, Hong Yu, King Qian, King Jint corresponding targets of the emperors. Some were not certain, but mixed with some uncertainty. In addition, there were some rising powerhouses who might also become their targets. There was one point that was a little surprising. Spirit Emperor didn't. This woman actually didn't have any chess pieces. He did not know whether Daoist Feng Yun did not find out or Spirit Emperor really did not make arrangements. Of course, it could also be that the arrangements were too deep that no one found out. Lindsay? Fong Ping was also not sure. Powerhouses who had broken 8 were almost all targeted, except for the few beginner martial artists. The powerhouses who took the remains of the 3 emperors back then, Emperor, Emperor of Heaven Reverse, Sun God, according to the information given by Daoist Feng Yun, when the 3 emperors died back then, the ones who took their remains seemed to be these 3. Then, did Fong Ping's strength come from these 3 people? In that case, it seemed that these 3 people had been targeted. However, Fong Ping glanced at it and did not pay much attention. His goal was not to find out who was behind it. Actually, it was very difficult to find out who the system belonged to. It could not even be found out at all. What he needed was an internal conflict among the emperors. This information excluded the Divine Emperor and Celestial Emperor, including Dongwuang. However, was the situation like this? That was hard to say. However, the chess pieces of the emperors were somewhat interesting. The interesting one was actually the human emperor, the weapon master, King Wu. The weapon master had already died, and the King Wu had only just risen. In that case, the human emperor had arranged for a weapon master before, but the weapon master had been killed before and only revived afterward. In that case, all these years, the human emperor actually did not make any arrangements. He could totally not interfere in anything. Anyway, his chess pieces were only the weapon master who was about to be revived. What did other people's matters have to do with him? The human emperor was in a hurry to show himself again and again. What was he trying to do? Why did he bring the human emperor's sword to the human world? Why did the disciples under the human emperor enter the patrol? Why did Yuan Gang and the others keep jumping around after reviving? He just had to wait. What the human emperor needed to do was to wait for the weapon master to revive. Human emperor, Fong Ping laughed. This guy was getting more and more interesting. He did not know what exactly he was trying to do. He lacked something to prove all this. However, he felt that the human emperor might not be on the same side as the other emperors. He seemed to be more willing for the three realms to be more chaotic, more willing for the emperors to be more chaotic. The few times he descended, the human emperor was always a bystander. In ancient times, he was also a disruptor. Back then, if Heavenly Emperor Zhan had joined forces with Earthly Emperor, they might have rewritten history. In the end, he destroyed it. Was it good for him? Probably not. Human Emperor, King Marshal, Fong Ping murmured. He actually felt that the human emperor was not the ally of the human race. Fong Ping felt that there was still a battle between the human emperor and King Marshal. This was the feeling. The human emperor ruled the human world, and King Marshal walked the path of the human emperor. These two might erupt in a conflict. Did the human emperor not know? He knew. Back then, at Heavenly Wood, Fong Ping saw the conversation between the human emperor and Earthly Emperor. The title of human emperor would bring trouble. What role did you play? Fong Ping murmured. The relationship within the emperors seemed to be more complicated than he thought. Originally, in his opinion, the emperors only had two goals. First, detachment. Second, to solve the source of trouble. However, now it seemed that there might be some inside story. Some people seemed to not want to detach, nor did they want to solve the source of trouble. They just wanted to cause trouble, to be a sh*t stirrer, like the human emperor. This guy was a sh*t stirrer. If Fong Ping was the sh*t stirrer of the three realms, then the human emperor was the sh*t stirrer among the emperors. He made the emperors restless. Fong Ping took the information and looked at it again and again. Very soon, the material was crushed. At this moment, Fong Ping was in the sky above Sun City. He was observing. Was there any abnormality in Sun City? When he appeared in Sun City, the first place he appeared was here. Was there a passageway that connected to that small world here? Now, Fong Ping felt that the earth he had lived on was not an illusion, nor did it not exist. It might really exist. That world was projecting this side of the world. It had been projecting this side of the world all along. Therefore, it developed according to Earth's current trajectory. Of course, martial arts were excluded. If it could develop along with Earth's development, it meant that the other side of the world might have always existed and been operating. 5,000 years of Huaxia's history. 5,000 years. Fong Ping murmured in his heart. 5,000 years. This was the history of civilization on the Earth he lived on. Although the Earth in his previous life had humans born very, very early, the true records were only from 5,000 years ago. This meant that everything before that might not have existed. The other side of the world only existed from 5,000 years ago. 5,000 years ago, during the era of the Earthly Emperor God dynasty, if the other side of the world existed, then it might have been projected from 5,000 years ago. The history before this was vague and unclear. On the Earth in this life, not to mention 5,000 years ago, even the history of 40,000 years ago had been recorded. There were still people alive. The existence of a prehistoric civilization was unclear. 5,000 years ago, There were only a few people who had the ability to create a small world. And the person who created this small world might have placed the small world here. Why did he choose Sun City? Is that the other side of the world projected by the seed? If I find it, can I integrate that world and engulf it to make myself stronger? Fong Ping came to Sun City to find this small world. He guessed that it should be a world projected by the seed, and it was even stronger, because it was more real. It would definitely be stronger than the mystic realm from before. The seed projection would be stronger. If he found it and engulfed the seed projection directly, his strength might increase greatly. I've integrated some cities, but it still can't reach my expectations. If I engulf this small world, I might gain more. Where's the entrance? Fong Ping's mentality scanned inch by inch. He knocked on the cat's head and laughed. Look carefully. If you find it, we'll eat and drink well. I think this side of the world exists. The entrance is nearby. That was what he thought. He even suspected that the seed's true body was here. If it was, then that world might be inside the seed's true body. If he caught the seed directly, even if Fong Ping did not engulf the seed, he would still throw it out. You emperors can fight however you want. Your lives and deaths have nothing to do with the humans, nothing to do with me. Weren't they after the seed? Whether you engulf the transcendence or replenish the origin, the seed's power would definitely be able to do it. When that time comes, it would have nothing to do with the humans. That was why he planned to look carefully in Sun City this time. If he could not find it, it meant that the possibility of it being the seed's true body was higher, because the projection might not be able to hide from him and the cat. Both of them were considered emperors in the past. They would not be unable to find even the slightest clue unless the other party's strength was much stronger than his. P.S. I'm too busy today. I can't write smoothly. I won't continue writing lest I mess up the rhythm. Happy Mid-Autumn Festival, everyone. Nine Heavens Divine Emperor. Chapter 14:23. Sun City. Fong Ping and the old cat's mentality swept through, not even letting the dust escape. However, he still couldn't find anything. Sun City. Fong Ping was not the first to look for it. Some emperors even secretly sent their avatars to investigate. Some people guessed that the Yang God was here. However, even the monarch could not find anything. Although Fong Ping had also probed for a long time, he did not find anything. You really didn't? Is it not there? Or is the seed there? Fong Ping mumbled in his heart. There were only two possibilities if he could not find it. Either it didn't exist, or its power level was so high that he couldn't detect it. If it was the latter, it meant that there was indeed a huge problem with Yang City. The seed's true body was nearby. The cat tilted its head and looked at Fong Ping. It blinked and said, "Liar, I can't find it. Are you still looking? Why don't we go back to eat first?" Bang! Fong Ping gave it a slap. His expression was a little dark. Recently, this cat had been wanting to eat. Eat your head. The cat felt wronged and said pitifully, "If I don't eat it now, I won't be able to eat it when I'm killed in the future." Well, what he said actually made sense. Fong Ping also knew that the great battle was approaching. Previously, Heavenly Emperor Zhan had said 3 months. After that, he shot an arrow. How long could this arrow hold them back? 1 month? 2 months? Almost a month had passed. How long would it take for the boundary wall to shatter? Soon. Fong Ping could not waste too much time in Sun City. Since he could not find it, Fong Ping could only continue on his way and continue integrating the various cities. He turned back to look at Sun City once more. His eyes flickered for a moment, and he took to the skies and left. Not long after Fong Ping left, a silhouette came tearing through the void. Heavenly King Jin looked down at Yang City and murmured, "Teacher, are you here? Is the Yang spirit here?" What had the Yang God been doing all these years? Many things seemed to be related to the Yang spirit, but they also seemed to have nothing to do with him. Was Qin Fengqing related to the Yang spirit? It felt like it, but it wasn't quite the same. Was Fong Ping related to the Sun God? It felt like it, but it also felt like it wasn't. The Yang spirit seemed to have always existed, but it also seemed not to exist at all. Everything was just the imagination and speculation of others. The strongest novice martial artist seemed to have disappeared from this world a long time ago. He no longer existed in this world. Where did he go? If Fong Ping suspected that there was something wrong with Sun City, how could the Heavenly King of Suppression not be suspicious? However, there was no evidence to prove that the Yang spirit was here. Teacher, it doesn't matter if you're here or not. The world barrier is about to shatter. I still hope that Teacher can stand out and fight alongside me. I don't want to fight to the death with Teacher tomorrow. Heavenly King Jin looked at Yang City with a complicated expression. 8,000 years ago, Master asked me to oversee the human world. For 8,000 years, I never left the human world. I watched the ups and downs of the world, watched the human race struggle for survival, until the new martial revolution, 8,000 years. With a sigh, the Heavenly King suppressing Heavenly King became even more complicated. He had been in the human world for a full 8,000 years. As the winds and clouds rose and fell, countless geniuses passed away. In the past 100 years of new martial arts, the human race had fought countless battles and suffered countless casualties. He had been watching silently. Now that the human race was on the brink of extinction, where should he go? Teacher, I'll wait for you. Leaving behind these words, the subduing Heavenly King tore through the air and left. He did not know if the Yang god was here, but he guessed that it should be related to Yang City. Sun City, in the sea, on an island. The void trembled. In the next moment, the young man resting on the island opened his eyes and attacked with his spear. The spear pierced through the void, causing it to explode. Destroy. Why do you have to do this? The young man's eyes were cold. I will not be destroyed. Yes and no. Laughter could be heard. In the next moment, a person appeared. The figure was illusory, and his appearance could not be seen clearly. Hiding your head and showing your tail? What a despicable person. The young man shouted coldly. The long spear erupted with a scorching light, and he attacked again. Clang! A crisp sound was heard. The illusory figure held the long spear with one hand. Just as he was about to speak, the long spear turned into a stream of water. Like a poisonous snake, the tip of the spear instantly pierced the face of the illusory figure. Bang! The long spear was instantly repelled. The illusory figure smiled and said, "You're no match for me. Although you've broken 7 times, it's still not enough. Can we talk now?" Yao Qingjun retracted his spear and retreated 100 meters. He said coldly, "If you want to talk, tell me your identities. Which of the 9 emperors was it? Or the celestial Thearcha's young god? It doesn't matter whether I know or not." The illusory figure smiled. "This time, you found the Heaven Destroyer Palace. I think you know a lot of things. Destroy was the wisest of the 3 emperors. He should have left many things in the Heaven Destroyer Palace. There are some things that you should be clear about." Yao Qingjun did not say a word. The illusory figure said again, "The 3 emperors being killed is actually inevitable, isn't it?" Yao Qingjun said coldly, "Inevitable? The 3 emperors are to be blamed for not being strong enough. Zhan is to be blamed for being too soft-hearted. Otherwise, there would be no inevitability. So you do know?" The illusory figure smiled. "If that's the case, then you should also understand that once the war starts, you Li Hansong and Wang Jinyang will die. I've already put that aside." Yao Qingjun was extremely calm. "If that's all you want to say, you can get lost. Your temper is still so bad." The illusory figure smiled. "The great Tao of the 3 emperors is opportunistic. If the 9 emperors are orthodox, the 3 emperors are demonic. The celestial emperor has disciples. The 9 emperors are counted, and so is Doji. Only the 3 emperors are not counted." Yao Qingjun sneered. "No need. The 3 emperors don't need celestial emperor to clear their names." The illusory figure smiled. "I know you don't care, but celestial emperor cares. The 9 emperors cares. Everyone else cares. Why can't the 9 emperors transcend and be forced to fill the hole, but the 3 emperors don't?" Celestial emperor plotted against the 9 emperors, but did not expect the 3 emperors to take the wrong path. However, gains and losses are sometimes in a small area. The three emperors don't need to be affected by the chaos of the source. At worst, they can cut off their paths to protect themselves. But the nine emperors can't. The illusory figure sighed. This is the path of your death. The nine emperors don't want you to live, and neither does Celestial Emperor. The birth of the emperors is to mend the hole in the source. Although Celestial Emperor said there were some deviations, it was already close to success. But the three emperors walked different paths, causing Celestial Emperor's plan to go up in flames. Yao Qingjun, do you think the three emperors' deaths are inevitable? Yao Qingjun said coldly. It's because you people schemed for eternity that the problem became more and more serious. In the past, if Celestial Emperor had informed us of the source's flaw earlier, how could the situation of the whole becoming bigger and bigger? You want to obtain power and steal the source fruit, but you don't want to bear the responsibility. How can it be so simple? Taking a shortcut, you naturally have to bear the consequences. You people are all irresponsible people. The three emperors also disdain to be associated with you. The illusory figure chuckled. Is the three emperors' power not considered stolen? However, the three emperors are willing to return it. That's enough. Yao Qingjun said coldly. What are you trying to say? Is it just a debate with me whether the three emperors are right or wrong? The illusory figure said softly. Celestial Emperor actually wanted to solve these problems in the past. Unfortunately, he failed at the last moment. You know the reason. For 10,000 years, Celestial Emperor has always wanted to solve the problem of the source. Whether it is the three emperors being destroyed or the immortal source, it is all to solve the problem of the source. Celestial Emperor never gave up. Even completing the Tao of the source and completing the Tao tree are all to perfect the Tao of the source, to let the Tao of the source shine with vitality again, not to completely extinguish it. Since that's the case, the nine emperors are Cancer, and the three emperors even more so. The nine emperors have already fallen into the trap, but the three emperors are hidden very deeply. So the three emperors must die, and so must their reincarnations. Cut off our Tao. Yao Qingjun sneered. You can't find the Tao passed down by the three emperors. Unless we are willing, otherwise can you cut it off? That's hard to say. The illusory figure laughed. I'm afraid you still don't know about Tianqin. The Tianqin Great Tao was seized by Fong Ping. He was the protector of the cat, but he ended up like this. It should be for the three of you. Yao Qingjun frowned. You opened up another passage in the source. The source can't be closed. The loopholes and flaws have always been there. The illusory figure laughed. Will Celestial Emperor let you continue? The Tao that the nine emperors opened up in the past can be traced. After that, the three gates were forged to seal the Tao. Everything is under Celestial Emperor's control. Although the three emperors are dead, they are not dead. The Tao is still there. Celestial Emperor will not sit back and do nothing. The nine emperors will not either. Why are we trapped in the source while the three emperors can be free? The illusory figure's voice was cold. So, there was the death of the three emperors. Gee, and the others killed the three emperors, not only because you want to destroy the origin of the imperial cultivators, but also because of jealousy. Jealousy is also an original sin. Jealousy. The nine emperors were extremely jealous. This was different from what Fong Ping and the others understood. In everyone's view, the nine emperors were incomplete emperors. They were not as omnipotent as the nine emperors. The nine emperors had always wanted to become emperors. But now, the illusory figure said that the nine emperors were extremely jealous. So, there was the chaos in the heavenly realm and the death of the three emperors. Yao Qingjun did not seem surprised. He sneered. So what? The three emperors are dead, but the Tao is still there. If Celestial Emperor is capable, then break these three Tao. If the three Tao are not broken, it can only mean that you are too incompetent. The illusory figure laughed. Yes, we didn't find the opportunity back then. It was also related to the nine emperors' disunity. But now, we won't give you another chance. Tianqin's matter had already shown that Celestial Emperor had begun to solve the problem of the three emperors. Tianqin should have a treasure in his hands to explore the Tao of the three emperors. Otherwise, Celestial Emperor would not have given him the task. Not only that, the existence of the cat is also a disaster. The Tao of the three emperors may not be discovered by others. But what about the cat? The cat that roams the source really can't find the location of your true Tao. Yao Qingjun sneered. Are you trying to sow discord? Sow discord? The illusory figure said indifferently. It's not sowing discord. It's the truth. In the past, Tian Chun raised the cat to find your Tao. It was one of his goals. Unfortunately, Tian Chun fell halfway. Fortunately, spirit continued to take over. The cat and the cat had a good relationship. Originally, at that time, the cat should have been allowed to find and break the Tao. Yao Qingjun frowned. The illusory figure said again, Tian Chen's confidence is actually also from the cat, isn't it? But now it seems that the cat seems to have forgotten a lot of things. I'm afraid that Tian Chen felt uncertain, so he gave up this path. What are you trying to say? Yao Qingjun was a little impatient. He shouted coldly, If you don't say it, I'm leaving. Don't worry. The illusory figure smiled. The three emperors will die, and the Tao will also be broken, and it may eventually be broken in the hands of the cat. And the cat will inevitably meet a tragic end. The purpose of its existence is to solve some problems. It is the backup of Celestial Emperor. The defect of the source, the hidden danger of the three gates, may ultimately be solved by the cat. The three emperors die. The cat dies. No one can escape this disaster. Yao Qingjun looked at him, his expression darkening. So, the biggest disaster of the three realms is actually not the 9 emperors. The 9 emperors is only in the same boat as you. The 9 emperors is only seeking survival, to live freely. The illusory figure sighed. Not now, like a prisoner, imprisoned in the source, to become Celestial Emperor's material to repair the source. So the 9 emperors wants to transcend, to escape. You and I, in fact, have the same goal. Yao Qingjun sneered. Same goal? Ridiculous. You talk a lot of nonsense. If you don't say it, then don't. Simple. The 3 emperors will cooperate with us. Us, not me. The illusory figure did not know if he was trying to mislead them. At this moment, he smiled. The Tao of the 3 emperors runs through the source. Celestial Emperor cannot control the entire source without the land of the 3 gates, and cannot detect the location of the Tao of the 3 emperors. If the Tao of the 3 emperors can run through at the same time, gathering the Tao of the 3 emperors, we can escape. As long as someone fills in the gaps, we can migrate our Tao and no longer be controlled by Celestial Emperor. At that time, we will help you deal with Celestial Emperor. Our escape is also helping you. As for the threat of the source, we can slowly solve it. We don't have to slaughter the human race. Yao Qingjun understood and sneered. You want the 3 of us to provide a way for you to escape? You can say that. In your dreams. Yao Qingjun, must you be so decisive? The illusory figure smiled. The Tao of War actually already has some clues. Now, it is being locked on. I believe it will be discovered soon. I don't think you, and Li Hansong's Tao, will be hidden for too long. While it has not been discovered, cooperate now, and it will benefit both sides. If Celestial Emperor really succeeds, then it will be trouble for all living beings in the 3 realms. The illusory figure said again, You know a lot, but there are some things that you may not know, or don't know the truth. Was it really unintentional for Celestial Emperor to shatter the source back then? All these years, many things have proved that in fact, the shattering of the source 30,000 years ago was Celestial Emperor's plot. At that time, he probably could not control the source. Today, 30,000 years later, if Celestial Emperor were to re-establish himself after being destroyed and gather the source again, all living beings in the 3 realms will have to crawl under Celestial Emperor's feet. They will never be able to escape Celestial Emperor's control again. The 3 realms plot, the 3 realms crisis, seems to be caused by the 9 emperors, but in reality, it was all caused by Celestial Emperor. Celestial Emperor is the main culprit. Since you have inherited Annihilation's will, can't you see it? Yao Qingjun said coldly. Even if Celestial Emperor is the mastermind, you are also accomplices. You should all be killed. This world is not only black and white, We are also seeking survival. Do you think Fong Ping should be killed? He has killed so many people. You could say that Fong Ping is seeking survival. But what about us? The illusory figure sighed. You could beautify Fong Ping's killing, but have we killed as many people as Fong Ping? Even though we have laid out a plan, the people who have truly died because of us are not many. The crisis of the human race was not caused by the 9 emperors, or rather, not all of them caused it. The seed has always been a secret, but it was revealed by Hong Yu in the past. Hong Yu does not represent the 9 emperors. This caused the subsequent crisis of the human race. Millions of people died. Is this also the 9 emperors' fault? The 9 emperors have never thought of using this method to force the human race to do anything. Yao Qingjun did not speak. He just wanted to clear his name. Was it not the emperor's order that Hong Yu revealed the seed of rebirth? Otherwise, how will Hong Yu know? Seeing this, the illusory figure said again, "All right, even if we don't cooperate, do you think the human race can win? Do you really think Fong Ping can win? He can't even take care of himself, and someone is plotting against him in the dark." It's hard to say if he can survive until the big battle. Even if he can, the next day, Fong Ping will definitely be the first kill target for all parties. Can he resist the 9 emperors? Can he resist Celestial Emperor? Cooperation is the only way out for both parties. Then you should look for Fong Ping. Yao Qingjun was not stupid. The other party did not look for Fong Ping, but him. Things were not that simple. Fong Ping. He is too hostile towards us. He won't believe anything we say. Moreover, the cat is right beside him. Do you really think the cat can be trusted? That's why I look for you this time, because you are not by Fong Ping's side. If we really want to cooperate, there is no need to reveal this to Fong Ping. It's not to hide it from Fong Ping. It's to hide it from the cat. Even if the cat won't reveal it, the cat is actually the Celestial Emperor's pawn. The Celestial Emperor might be able to monitor everything. If not, the Celestial Emperor has been asleep for tens of thousands of years and has no control over the 3 realms. Do you think he will be at ease? Tian Chun is not the Celestial Emperor's only arrangement. The cat is. You want me to hide it from Fong Ping? It's not hiding it, I just don't want the Celestial Emperor to know. It's best not to tell the others either. The immortal origin monitors everywhere. Unless they leave the immortal origin, you, Wang Jinyang, and Li Hansong can all know. The 3 reincarnations of the 3 emperors are the ones who have transcended. If the others know, they might be discovered. The illusory figure said sincerely, "This matter will not harm you, only benefit you. All you need to do is to provide us with the location of the 3 realms, allowing us to break free from the origin. In fact, even without you, we can still do it, but it will be more difficult. However, for 10,000 years, we also have a plan. We can still achieve this step. Mentioning this now is just to make the cooperation between both sides smoother." Yao Qingjun thought for a while, then said after a while, "After you escape, won't you attack the humans and lure out the seeds? If we escape from the origin, it would be best if the seeds can be found. But if not, all the consequences will be borne by the Celestial Emperor alone, not the 9 emperors. When that time comes, there will be no need to destroy the humans, and the Celestial Emperor needs this. In order to stop the Celestial Emperor, we will instead become your help." The illusory figure said softly, "These are also the basis of our cooperation." "Why me?" Yao Qingjun said coldly. "If you really want to find the 3 emperors' reincarnations, Wang Jinyang and Li Hansong are both in the 3 realms. Why not them? Li Hansong trusts Fong Ping too much. He will tell Fong Ping everything. If Fong Ping knows, can he hide it from the Celestial Emperor? Wang Jinyang, I know, maybe he wants to bear it himself, but we need the 3 emperors together, not just one person. He might even hide it from you. How can we cooperate? Only you. You are the calmest, the most clear-headed. You might be guessing whether the 3 of you will die. I don't know, I can't guarantee this. Our Tao is too powerful. If we borrow it to travel, it might cause you to die. But maybe this is the best way, isn't it? Otherwise, we will be trapped in the origin. Can only be one with the Celestial Emperor. We can only hope to separate us from the Celestial Emperor when we escape. This is a big gamble. If we win, there will be a battle between the 9 emperors and the Celestial Emperor. If we lose, even if we continue to cooperate with the Celestial Emperor after we escape, you will still face the same situation. There is nothing to lose. The illusory figure was very sincere, even mentioning the possibility of the 3 emperors' reincarnations dying. Yao Qingjun looked at the illusory figure, then said after a while, "What makes you think I will agree?" "Because you are a wise man." "Wise man?" Yao Qingjun sneered. "Don't flatter me. Because Li Hansong won't pay attention to you. Because Wang Jinyang is more rational than you think. So you think I could be roped in, right? You can think so. Borrow our Dao. Can you really escape? Then why didn't you borrow the Dao in the past? The 3 emperors might not have refused." "Not at that time," the illusory figure sighed. "At that time, the 3 emperors also hoped to solve the problem of the origin, but their goal was to get the 9 emperors and the Celestial Emperor to return the power together. This is impossible. No one will agree to lose their power. If we borrow the Dao, they will naturally know our goal, just like Yang Shun and the others. Taking some power away and not returning it will only be more troublesome. Will the 3 emperors let us do this?" Yao Qingjun fell into deep thought. After a while, he said again, "After Do also followed your orthodox Dao of the origin?" "Yes. Actually, Do was schemed by the Celestial Emperor. At first, he also wanted to take the extreme Dao, to open up the Dao of energy, but later the Celestial Emperor sensed the threat of the extreme Dao, so he was forced to take the orthodox Dao of the origin, the gate of the origin of existence. Let me think about it. I have to go back and consult Wang Jinyang and Li Hansong. I can't promise you on their behalf." "You can, but I believe you are rational. If you don't remind them, don't tell Fong Ping and the others. The plan may be leaked, and then the cooperation will end. The Celestial Emperor knows about our plan. He will not give us a chance. And you, the Celestial Emperor, will definitely eradicate you. Tian Chun failed, and there are others, whether it is the cat or even the dog. They are all pawns of the Celestial Emperor. You will die prematurely. If you die, no one will know where the 3 Dao is. The threat of the 3 Dao is not as great as you think." As he said that, the illusory figure said again, "Don't trust anyone easily, even King Wu. King Wu may also be the Celestial Emperor's plan." The biggest possibility of King Wu's existence from the beginning was to make the human race submit, to make King Wu the seed of this generation. King Wu will attract the seed, and with King Wu, the seed will have a greater chance of being discovered. This is the confrontation between the Sun God and the Celestial Emperor. King Wu actually represents the Celestial Emperor, and the Sun God also has its own plan. Zhen is the Sun God's disciple. In the end, Zhen and King Wu may have a battle. The fate of the human race is actually not in the hands of King Wu or Zhen. King Wu is the Celestial Emperor's plan. Yao Qingjun looked at the other, his eyes flashing. The illusory figure laughed. "Very likely. Don't think that I'm lying to you, or that King Wu is actually a pawn of the Sun God and the Celestial Emperor, concentrating great power on King Wu, letting the seed invest. And King Wu is the only one who can lure the seed out. If the Sun God kills him, the Celestial Emperor will not be able to find the seed. If the Celestial Emperor captures King Wu, he may be able to find the seed, putting everything in the light. This way, both sides do not need to calculate too much, and it can also make the situation clearer. As for Fong Ping, his existence is actually a variable. Originally, when King Wu appeared, there should not be Fong Ping, but I don't know who Fong Ping was involved in this big show, which led to the frequent accidents. You also don't know who did it? I have a guess, but I'm not sure." The illusory figure laughed. "Yao Qingjun, no one knows about our meeting, and I hope that you won't reveal too much. In addition, I'll give you another piece of news. The flaw of the origin has come, and it's time to solve it. If not for this failure, there will be another chance, but it's gone. So this time, everyone will definitely make a move, definitely, because everyone has no chance, including the Celestial Emperor. He won't have a next chance. Otherwise, we can still wait. Since we've waited for 10,000 years, we can wait for another 10,000 years. But this time, there really isn't a chance." "Why? Your lifespan hasn't come to an end yet. Why?" The illusory figure sighed. Don't you understand? The origin is this three realms. The source is this three realms. Since you're destroying it, then you should know how small misery was 40,000 years ago. 30,000 years ago, misery suddenly expanded. 10,000 years ago, misery swallowed countless mainlands, becoming the three realms' biggest hidden danger. All these years, misery is still constantly eroding. Misery is the symbol of the origin's disaster. After the heavenly court was established, the heavenly realm floated in the sky, suppressing misery on behalf of the celestial emperor. And the result? 10,000 years ago, most of the three emperors' corpses merged into misery, and countless powerhouses died, also merged into misery. Don't you understand? Misery is the projection of that flaw. Now, the three realms are eroded, leaving only the three mainlands, the human realm and Chu, but they're getting smaller and smaller. Misery is still continuing to erode. The merging of the three emperors' corpses has slowed down the speed of misery's erosion, but it did not last long. The three emperors are not enough. Suppressing the origin and filling the sea, the three emperors can't do it. Neither can we. If we fail again this time, misery will erode the three realms, and the three realms will completely turn into the sea. The origin will be destroyed, everything will be destroyed, and heaven and earth will be reopened. Tell me, do you still have a chance? Yao Chengjun was slightly stunned. He really did not know about this matter. Misery. Yao Chengjun looked around and at the surrounding sea, murmuring, misery eroding the three realms is the three realms' destruction? That's right. The phantom sighed and said, all these years, if not for us suppressing it, misery would have completely devoured the three realms. Therefore, there will be no next time. Only this time. If we fail once, it will be the end. I understand. Yao Chengjun said in a low voice. If we agree to cooperate, how should we contact you? There's no need to contact us. On the day the world wall shatters, the three Daos will appear and we will be free. If you don't agree to cooperate, there's no need to do this. It's up to you where to go. After saying that, the phantom gradually dissipated. Yao Chengjun suddenly said, have you really never regretted betraying the heavenly Dharch and the three emperors? Regret? The void figure's expression carried a bit of ridicule. It laughed and then quickly collapsed. Yao Chengjun, who was left on the spot, had an uncertain expression. Chapter 1424. King Man is invincible. Earth. After Fong Ping had integrated cities everywhere with great fanfare, the three realms already knew what Fong Ping was doing. Integrating Earth. Although they did not know very clearly, at this moment, Fong Ping began to do it openly, and the efficiency was even faster. The humans knew that they needed to acknowledge Fong Ping to make him stronger smoothly. In this way, the people's hearts were more united. Believe in Fong Ping. Only by believing in Fong Ping could Fong Ping become stronger. Only then could Fong Ping kill strong enemies and let the humans become the final victors of the three realms. Cities appeared in the Source World one after another. The Source World grew bigger and bigger. 1,800 meters, 1,900 meters, 2,000 meters, this range was still expanding. This time, the number of cities integrated by Fong Ping increased greatly. 1 city, 10 cities, 100 cities. The title of King Man had now been recognized by the entire human race. Fighting everywhere, killing everywhere. King Martial Arts helped the humans defend their land. King Man let the humans open up new frontiers. The effect was very good, so good that it was somewhat beyond Fong Ping's expectations. At the end of June, Fong Ping completed this integration journey this time. Along the way, he absorbed the Beast Emperor's clone crystal and integrated nearly 1,000 cities. It was unexpectedly smooth. At this moment, his source world was like a new world. One city after another appeared out of thin air. Tall buildings stood in great numbers, countless shadows. The source world had changed too much. Wealth, 500 billion points vitality, 25. 3 million calories, 25. 3 million mentality. 197,000 hertz. 197,000 hertz. Source world. 4,600 meters. This was Fong Ping's harvest this time. The source world expanded to 4,600 meters directly. After 1,000 meters, Fong Ping had a significant increase every 1,000 meters. It was similar to the origin path. Every 1,000 meters could increase Fong Ping's increase by almost 10%. After a few times, Fong Ping's current basic vitality was as high as 25 million calories and above. The harvest was greater than expected. His mentality also showed some growth. Although it was not a lot, Fong Ping was already very satisfied. At this point, he could still have such a huge increase at once. The idea of expanding the source was not wrong. His vitality and mentality were not balanced, so Fong Ping did not maintain the force. Until the end of this trip, Fong Ping began to balance and transform. Very soon, there was new progress and breakthrough. Wealth, 500 billion points vitality, 400,000 calories, 22. 5 million, spirit, 0 hertz, 225,000 hertz, force, 2,250 vitality, 45 million calories vitality, jade bones, 99%, with qualitative change of chi and blood, source world, 4,600 meters essence amplification, fake Tao, 40%, battle technique, chaos vanquishing saber technique, plus 18%, power control, 99% ultimate outburst, 703890000 cal /711000000 cal. The limit had exceeded 70 million calories. It did not feel like much of an improvement, but in reality, it was because the Tao was broken by another 200 meters that Fong Ping's strength did not increase that much. Tao, Tianqin's Tao. Fong Ping actually did not plan to keep using it. If he used it again, the great Tao might completely break. Tianqin would die, and the old cat would not be happy. Moreover, Fong Ping was now considering whether it would be better to seal his origin. A 40% increase in the great Tao might seem like a lot, but in reality, it was just that. If he sealed his origin, would he be able to experience a huge increase in power? He had already begun to compress his Tao, which was at the peak of breaking 8, and was only left with 400 meters. Could it be that he really had to strip away the Tao of breaking 9? If he could not strip away the Tao of breaking 9, then the Tao that represented Tianqin would be Fong Ping's limit. Unless I use old Zhang's Tao, Fong Ping muttered. Old Zhang's Tao was his original Emperor Tao. Fong Ping felt that if he used it, he might preserve more. The key was that he did not want to use old Zhang's Tao. Moreover, the origin Tao might not be reliable. The current Fong Ping did not really trust the origin Tao. There might be problems at critical moments. Then, at this moment, should he continue using the Tao or seal his origin? His force had already reached 45 million calories vitality, directly breaking 9. In addition to the combat techniques amplification, it was more than 53 million calories. This was Fong Ping's strength without using the Tao. Speaking of which, it was also terrifyingly powerful. Fong Ping was a little conflicted. Should he seal it? He was indeed conflicted. He was afraid that after sealing it, he would not be able to use the Tao. If there was no increase in his strength, he would drop from 70 million to 50 million. The difference would be very big. Tao, Fong Ping murmured. The problem with the origin Tao was very serious. The more it was at this time, the more worried he was. It was actually best not to use it. However, he was also afraid of losing his strength. He was in a dilemma. I won't seal it first unless my strength exceeds the increase of the Tao. Fong Ping still made a decision. He would not seal the origin world's hole first. Wait a little more. This time, he wanted to enter the origin land again. If he succeeded this time, he might have an upgrade. At that time, even without using the Tao, he might still exceed 70 million calories. At that point, Tianqin's Tao might not be of much use anymore. No matter what, he would use it first. Star Town. Now, many powerhouses gathered here. The last time the seed projection overflowed here, this place had the most energy. Fong Ping had finished integrating the city. His first choice was Star Town. He was ready to enter the origin land. This should be the safest place. The void was torn apart. Fong Ping descended directly. In the next second, Heavenly King Subduer appeared. He glanced at Fong Ping, frowning slightly. I can't see through you anymore. What is your strength now, kid? Just broke 9. Heavenly King Subduer curled his lips. Who was he bluffing? Really? Fong Ping laughed and said quickly, Godfather, I'm here to ask for your help this time. Get lost. Upon hearing the word Godfather, Heavenly King Jin knew it was nothing good and scolded him directly. Get lost. I don't like it. What do you want now, kid? I'm really here to ask for help. Fong Ping smiled bitterly. I need a lot of origin soil now to consolidate my origin world. It might take tens of millions of years if I rely on myself to condense origin chi and then condense it into soil. Only origin soil, the kind in large quantities, can help me quickly fill up the origin world. This way, I can also walk in the origin universe for a longer period of time. Fong Ping sighed. If Godfather doesn't save me, then no one can save me, unless I can find a second origin soil star now. But I suspect that there's only one such star in the 3 realms that has fallen into Godfather's hands. Heavenly King Jun was smug. He laughed. Of course, I've searched the origin universe and only found this one. But no way. I won't send you off. This was good stuff. He wanted it too. Moreover, he was using it as a weapon. This would cause great damage to the origin world and was especially effective against emperors. He would not give it to him. Fong Ping sighed. Not far away, King Wu tread the air, his face dark. He said with some annoyance, You used it as a weapon. Fong Ping used it to increase his strength and save the human race. Can't you give it to him? You're already so old, yet you're like a child. Do you think this thing can be eaten like candy? Wholeheartedly, for the human race. I think you're just showing off for yourself. It's just some soil. Fong Ping didn't do it for himself. Can't you give it to him? What good will it do to you if the human race is defeated? I've said it before. Old man, you're not a good person. Now it's true. You're a cold-blooded animal. Fong Ping is begging you to do something serious. It's not like you're taking it out to squander. Yet you won't give it to him. Zhang Tao swore. Heavenly King Zhun's face darkened. He snorted. Provoking me? Dream on. I won't give it to you. This was his most powerful divine weapon. He would not give it to him. Fong Ping smiled bitterly. Forget it then. I can't force you. Since Godfather wants to use it and play with it, then play with it. Play? Heavenly King Zhun scolded. Who's playing? Am I a child? Is this thing for playing? Who are you slandering? Old Zhang said again. Don't beg him. Isn't it just the origin soil? If it doesn't work, kill the cat for the soil. Doesn't this guy have a lot of origin soil? Meow. The cat stared at him with wide eyes. What? Why was he talking about me again? I didn't even say anything. Why kill the cat for the soil? Heavenly King Zhun's face darkened. Who are you provoking? Go ahead and kill it. These 2 bastards only know how to provoke me. I won't give it to them. He said he would not give it to them. But when he saw Fong Ping's face full of despair, Heavenly King Jin could not help but scold. Who are you pretending for? You'll die without the origin soil? Despair. You didn't despair when you faced the Emperor. Now that you don't have the origin soil, you're in despair? Sigh. I want to go to the source. There's not much origin soil. The source world isn't stable. My origin body won't be stable either. If I stay here for too long and can't get out, I'll be dead. Fong Ping smiled bitterly. I might not be as lucky as last time. Old Wang has been to the source twice. Won't the Emperor be on guard? So this time, I might not have a chance to get out. Godfather, if I can't get out, please take care of the humans. Heavenly King Jun was very aggrieved. He wanted to say, you might as well just die. However, if he went to the source, the origin body would be far away from the origin star. It might not last long. It was like that last time. Fong Ping could not return and almost died there. In the end, it was Wang Jinyang who opened up the passageway and saved Fong Ping. Otherwise, Fong Ping and the cat would have fallen in. However, after thinking about it, Heavenly King Jin scolded, You were weak last time. This time, you're strong. If you go, you have a chance to break the 3 gates. Who says you can't get out? At that time, Fong Ping was still not strong. He had not even broken 7. But now, it was not the same. Now, if Fong Ping went to the source, he might be able to get out. The chances of breaking the gates and forcing his way out were not small. But I'm not going with my real body. Fong Ping sighed. If I really went with my real body, that would be great. Only the emperors entered the source with their real bodies. If Fong Ping wanted to enter the source with his real body, he had to find some origin star fragments. Celestial Emperor's origin star fragments and integrate them into the origin. Only then could he enter the source universe with his real body. Otherwise, if he entered with his real body, he would not be able to withstand the pressure and fall from the origin. This time, Fong Ping also wanted to find some origin fragments. Then let his real body enter. If his real body entered the source, he could have an outburst of more than 70 million calories. He was not afraid of a few weak emperors. But he did not have that thing now, did he? Heavenly King Jin was a little uncertain. He gritted his teeth and said, "In this old man's life, I have never honed a divine weapon. I only honed this thing. If you take it away now, He was very irritable now. He did not want to give it. But if he did not give it, what if this kid really died inside? The more he thought about it, the more depressed he became. Should he give it? It looked like he had to. Fong Ping laughed. Godfather, if you can't, I'll exchange. Exchange with Celestial Emperor reverses divine weapon. To be honest, I'm afraid that if I take his divine weapon, he will sense it. Previously, I wanted to integrate it with my Chaos Vanquishing Saber. But after thinking about it, he has been forging for tens of thousands of years. If I carry this thing, I might really be discovered by him. I might as well not integrate it. Also, the last time his and the Divine Emperor's divine weapons fell into our hands, I have a feeling that it was not a coincidence. They might have given it to us on purpose. Godfather, what do you think about exchanging it? See if there's any problem with it. This is a good thing, not worse than your ball. Celestial Emperor Reverse, the strongest emperor. He forged a divine weapon for 40,000 years. It's definitely a good thing. You, Heavenly King Jun, wanted to curse. But on second thought, actually, Celestial Emperor Reverse's divine weapon was not worse than his ball. Fong Ping, exchanging it was considered bleeding a lot. The point was he did not want the divine weapon now. He wanted his ball. Old Zhang said impatiently, "Don't be so wishy-washy. Don't waste time. If you want to exchange it, hurry up. If not, then forget it. We'll just go and die ourselves. Then you can go and die." Heavenly King Jun rolled his eyes. "Kid, who are you talking to? Die or not?" Old Zhang was a little embarrassed. He did not follow the script. "I'm going to die, and you're not even stopping me." Heavenly King Jun cursed a few times. He looked at Fong Ping, gritting his teeth. F***CK. Knowing these guys, he had not lived a good life. He gritted his teeth, his face black, and smashed a small ball into Fong Ping's arms with a bang. Fong Ping took a few steps back, chuckling. "Godfather, you're really strong. I almost smashed you to death." "Get lost." Heavenly King Jin scolded. "Get lost as far away as you can. Don't let me see you again next time." "We'll talk about it next time." Fong Ping laughed, then pinched the small ball and said, "Godfather, how do I break it?" Heavenly King Jun's heart ached. "Break it? This is my treasure. Do you really want to break it? How about, forget it, I'll do it myself." Fong Ping interrupted him. Besides, the old man was reluctant to part with it. It was better not to provoke him. After getting this, Fong Ping was relieved. He was just about to chat with old Zhang when Heavenly King Jin said with a black face, "Where's the fighting divine weapon? Didn't you agree to give it to me? Where's the divine weapon? Did you eat it? Did I see it?" Fong Ping was a little surprised. "I thought you didn't care about the divine weapon." "Get lost." Heavenly King Jin was furious again. "Do you believe I won't kill you?" Fong Ping laughed dryly and threw a chongdao to him. He said with a smile, "It's just a divine weapon. Why would I care about this? Let's not talk about this. Old Zhang, where are old Wang and the others?" "Yao Qingjun is back. He's having a gathering in Magic City." Old Yao is back? Fong Ping was a little surprised. Soon he stopped thinking about it and said with a smile, "It's good that he's back. Inform them to come over immediately after the gathering. I'm preparing to enter the source. Let these guys be ready to pick me up and evacuate at any time. It would be best if he could go and leave quietly. If he was discovered by the emperors, it would be best to break the door and leave, or simply leave through the passageway of the three. If he broke the door, the danger was not small. The emperors paid more attention to the door. It was easy to be discovered and stopped. Once he was blocked at the source, it would be troublesome. All right." Zhang Tao did not say much. He agreed and said quickly, "I'll go with you this time. Share some of your origin soil with me. You go. It's useless if you go." Fong Ping did not want to hurt people, but he had to. "It was useless if you go," old Zhang said in an unfriendly tone. "Why is it useless if I go? Why is it useless if I find out the enemy's situation and find out their background? Moreover, you're still young. You only know how to act rashly. If I go with you and encounter some unexpected situations, at least I can take care of you." Fong Ping said in his heart, "But you're too weak." "Who's weak?" Old Zhang scolded. "I'll break 8 and enter the top 10. The one with question marks. Are you looking for a beating? You're not my opponent." Old Zhang was so angry that his liver hurt, but he insisted, "I want to go." "What are you going to do?" Fong Ping asked curiously. "You're so insistent. Are you going to see Emperor Ling? I heard you drank her bathwater. Are you going on a date now?" "Get lost!" Old Zhang roared, exploding with anger. Fong Ping shrugged. Needless to say, he felt much better after dissing old Zhang and the others. He was a little depressed before. Now that he could diss these two, he was in a good mood. Old Zhang was furious. He humphed. "Do you think I'm like you? I want to go and see if there's a chance to rope in 1 or 2 emperors. You're thinking too much." "Nonsense. Of course you can't go, but I might not be able to," Zhang Tao said impatiently. "Your reputation stinks. Who would believe you? I'm different. I'm the current emperor. The humans can't do anything without me. They need to use the humans, so there's a basis for cooperation. Others aside, I've analyzed it. Emperor West, Emperor Ling, and Emperor Ling all have a possibility of cooperation, including the Beast Emperor and the others. The ones who really can't cooperate are actually those guys. It's much easier to fight one by one than to face the enemy head-on. Otherwise, are you sure you can take care of more than 10 powerhouses alone?" Seeing that Fong Ping did not think much of it, old Zhang said angrily, "Do you think you're the only smart one? If I hadn't secretly roped in the catacombs true kings with old Devil Li's reckless personality, would Sino Nation have lasted until the end? Back then I roped in a group of true kings. That's why we couldn't reach a consensus in the true king assemblies. It's not like the 4 true king halls have never joined forces to destroy the humans. It was the people I roped in who opposed it, so the alliance plan was ruined. You brat, do you really think that it's all thanks to you that the humans survived? Without me, you brat would have died long ago." "Yes," Heavenly King subduing said faintly. "Without me, you guys would have died long ago. Do you think it's all thanks to you guys that the humans survived?" Fong Ping was speechless. Were they comparing seniority? They spoke, as if he only knew how to do it. He also knew how to use strategies? Okay. He was not a reckless person. "Are you really going?" "Of course I'm going." Old Zhang humphed. "If I don't go this time, I might not have the chance. The next time they appear, it might be when the war breaks out. Do you want me to instigate them to defect? But it's very dangerous. If they kill you, they won't, at least not now." Old Zhang said firmly, "If they kill me now, the Emperor's path will collapse. If the seeds are lured out and they can't go all out, won't it be easy for others? The young god outside might kill me. Old Devil Li might kill me. You might too. Those few, it's really impossible." Fong Ping rubbed his chin and muttered, "Makes sense. If I kill you and the seeds appear now, they won't be able to go all out. Maybe I really have a chance to snatch the seeds. Why don't I try killing you?" "Kill me then? Forget it. There's no sense of accomplishment in killing you. You're too weak." The two of them exchanged a few words. Heavenly King, subduing, could not be bothered with them. He looked at Fong Ping and said, "Are you really going?" "Of course." Heavenly King, subduing, pondered for a moment and said, "If you really want to go, you can go to the Celestial Emperor's side and take a look." The Celestial Emperor has been suppressed for many years. I don't think he was suppressed voluntarily. Maybe he was tricked by the 9 emperors. You go investigate. You might have some unexpected gains. The Celestial Emperor and my master are at odds. The 9 emperors will be your first opponent. He might be eager for you to be stronger and help him suppress the 9 emperors. This possibility is not small. The Celestial Emperor might not be able to come out now. He is also worried that the 9 emperors will not be able to suppress him. You go to him. Maybe he will give you some help. The enemy of an enemy is a friend, even if you're still enemies in the end. Fong Ping thought for a while and nodded. That makes sense. You're indeed a wise man with age. You're wise and prudent. You have your responsibilities when you're old, like a steed in the stable. Having an old man at home is like having a treasure. Old man who won't die? Zhang Tao added faintly. Every word you say is old. You might as well call him an old man who won't die. Heavenly King, subduing, felt that talking to these 2 bastards would kill him. Too lazy to answer, he said again. Also, try not to take Wang Jinyang's path. You've already gone in twice. Now everyone is watching. The 3rd time, you might be tracked. Once you're tracked, it'll be very troublesome. Why don't you just accompany me? Me? Heavenly King, subduing, said impatiently. I don't want to court death. If I go, those people won't be polite. Kid Zhang and the others might not kill me. If you want to court death, I can't stop you. If I go, they won't be polite at all. If they see me, they will kill me. As he said that, he added, go find the blacksmith and ask him to make a fake path that leads to the outside of the 3 gates. If there's really danger, you have to leave through the 3 gates. I'll meet you outside the 3 gates. This time, he was much more prepared than the last time. Heavenly King, subduing, would secretly meet Fong Ping outside the Sanjiao gate. Old Wang and the other 2 would also be ready to meet Fong Ping. If he encountered a crisis, Fong Ping had many ways to escape. Fong Ping nodded. This was fine too. It was safer. Then I'll go find the god crafting envoy. Old Zhang, inform Old Wang and the others to come. At this point, the cat said aggrievedly, then I won't go. I'm going to eat. I'll look for you after I'm done eating. Fong Ping rolled his eyes, his shoulders shaking. Go find Fatty Jiang Chao. He had a lot of delicious food. There should be something you like. Meow. The cat leaped into the air, a smile on its face. That made sense. The liar was still smart. He would go find Fatty Jiang then. That fellow had a lot of delicious food. Heavenly King, subduing, laughed. He did not care that the cat was causing a ruckus in Stellar Sky City. After thinking for a while, he said in a low voice, bring this cat to Spirit Emperor. Maybe he can convince her. Women were emotional. This cat had been with her for tens of thousands of years. She followed the Celestial Emperor, but after all, they had not seen each other for many years. It was hard to say if she was still that determined. Even if I can't convince her, it's not bad to make her waver. One less enemy. Don't think that Spirit Emperor is weak. Kid, didn't you see what's written on the list? Aren't you sure? Why aren't you sure of Spirit Emperor's strength? Heavenly King Jin said with a smile. You don't understand, do you? Spirit Emperor was the youngest among the 9 emperors, and she was the Celestial Thearch's last disciple, as well as his only female disciple. The Celestial Thearch might have given her special treatment. Everyone says that the restrictions of the origin are great, but, kid, the Spirit Emperor might not necessarily have such a restriction. Fong Ping was stunned. The Celestial Emperor might have helped her suppress the restrictions, but that's hard to say. If that's the case, the Spirit Emperor is actually the freest emperor. Heavenly King Zhen Wang smiled and said, don't think that it's impossible. The possibility is not low. Of course, this is only my personal guess. However, this guess is not baseless. You saw the materials from before. There is no substitute for the Spirit Emperor. It wasn't that she wasn't ruthless, and it wasn't that she didn't want to find them. The key was that she didn't necessarily need them. She was one of the backup plans of the Celestial Arch. If the realm wall was broken, the other emperors would be restricted a little, but she might be completely unrestricted. The Celestial Arch wants her to display her full strength to help him deal with his opponents and obtain benefits. That's why I asked you to look for Spirit Emperor. This woman knows a lot of things. Otherwise, do you think her doppelganger would have gone to the mystic realm so early? How did she know about the Celestial Emperor's mystic realm so many years in advance? The Divine Emperor is powerful, but what about the Spirit Emperor? So, don't underestimate women. Fong Ping's eyes flickered, and he gossiped, "There's really something going on? That old Zhang drank her bathwater. Will the Celestial Arch be jealous and kill him?" Heavenly King Zhun was tired. "I'm talking about serious matters, and you're actually gossiping with me. What's wrong with this kid's brain?" Old Zhang was also speechless. Sometimes he really hoped that this guy would be beaten to death. However, could it be that this kid was right? Could the Celestial Arch really be jealous? Old Zhang was a little worried. It was better not to tell this secret, lest something went wrong this time. Chapter 14:25. After chatting with the God Creation Envoy for a while, Fong Ping suddenly thought of a question and asked, "Old Zao, what do you think will happen to the immortal source in the end?" Old Zao? The God Creation Envoy was a little helpless and tired. Every time Fong Ping's strength surpassed some people would have to go through a process of mental exhaustion. The biggest use of the immortal source is those Daos now. The God Creation Envoy said in a low voice. In the end, the final outcome is that the martial artists who cultivate the great Tao will be controlled by the immortal source and directly pulled into the source to fill the pit. Of course, some of the substitutes will break through the nine and pierce the source. They will be pulled over by the emperors to fill their own pit. Origin land, according to our thoughts, there are 9 emperors and 1 emperor's pit right now, and the biggest pit of the heavenly emperor. In this way, there will be 11 pits. The immortal source is used to fill the biggest pit. The remaining 10 will have to rely on the emperor himself. I'm afraid the martial artists of the 3 realms will not have a good ending in the end. The emperor himself is not willing to fill in these places, so he can only let others replace him. Fong Ping raised his eyebrows and said, "Then Wang Ruobing and the others, are they backup?" "Yes. The last time I checked the immortal source, there were many problems with it. It was very different from the way I made it back then." The God Creation Envoy explained, "Someone split the immortal source. Wang Ruobing and the others did not control all the martial artist Daos. What you saw was actually only a part of it. They stole the control of the immortal source, but not all of it. They were also afraid that the Heavenly Emperor would only mend his own hole and ignore them, so they also arranged a backup plan to steal power. At the crucial moment, Wang Ruobing and the others became the items for them to mend their hole." Fong Ping sneered. "These guys, they really have a way to play with these things. Everyone has their own way." The God Creation Envoy did not say much about this and sighed. After possessing great power, it is normal for them to give up, and it is normal for them to be unwilling. Since that's the case, of course we have to find a way out. Fong Ping nodded and said, "But I heard that Chu Wu had actually stolen some power. There is such a thing, it should have been done by the Yang God. Actually, Cheong and the others can be counted as well, but now that they have already entered the urn, the Yang God has escaped." The God Creation Envoy explained, "It happened a long time ago, even earlier than the 9 emperors. Let's put it this way. This was part of the reason why the 9 emperors killed Chu Wu. Killing them would allow Chu Wu's power to fuse with the origin source. It's not just to help the 9 emperors cross the broken path. It's also to use the power of beginner martial arts to fill in the gaps." Fong Ping sneered. "If that's the case, the Yang spirit isn't anything good either? That depends on how you define it." The God Forging Envoy laughed. "According to the Yang God's thoughts, I am the one who took this thing. If you have the ability, you can take it away. If you can't, then it's mine. You killed people to vent your anger, and Chu Wu to fill the hole. What does that have to do with me? I didn't kill them." The God Creation Envoy chuckled and said, "Tell me, in the eyes of the Yang God, is the death of the strongest Chu Wu related to him. Also, the Yang God has stolen a lot of power. This is also the reason why the origin martial artists have weak bodies. Because too much of their life force has been stolen, this also causes the origin martial artists to strengthen their bodies faster than the beginner martial artists. It's not just because of the suppression of the origin. The God forging envoy side. The Yang God can't be said to be good or bad. He is also doing it for his own strength, not to harm others subjectively, but he did cause a large number of beginner martial artists to be killed, causing the origin martial artists' bodies to weaken. You know a lot. Not really. Actually, I've heard of it a few years ago, but not many people spread it around. The God forging envoy laughed. The Yang God was still active a few years ago, and so was the Celestial Emperor. The two of them fought. That was their business. It wasn't good for us to interrupt and say anything, and we didn't have the qualifications. After the 9 emperors confirmed their Tao, the two of them had less time to be active. Actually, speaking of which, the origin Tao is still very strong and perfect. If the flaws are solved, the power stolen by the Yang God can also be returned. Then, the origin Tao is completely different. The God forging envoy said with some regret, the origin Tao should have been the same as the beginner martial arts. It should have been mainly to strengthen oneself, not to increase the origin. Just use the amplification to let you feel stronger power in advance, and then transcend. Think about it. You are an origin martial artist. You can feel the power that is several times stronger in advance. Adapt to this kind of power, and the origin does not have any suppression on the physical body and mentality. Then do you think you can quickly advance to this realm? The origin Tao is an auxiliary great Tao, but it is indeed very useful. But later on, I neglected the root and focused on the root. Instead, I focused on the increase of the origin. The Celestial Emperor and the Yang God both have an unshirkable responsibility. The God forging envoy looked at Fong Ping and smiled. If you can solve the problem of the origin, completely repair the origin Tao, and even provide energy replenishment, then the origin Tao will be the strongest Tao in the world. I've already thought about it for you. The God forging envoy smiled and said, first make up for the flaws. Then, throw the seed in and turn it into a perpetual motion machine. No, you still have to create the underworld. It's not considered the underworld, but a kind of recovery of power. The God forging envoy spoke with confidence and composure. When the 3 realms powerhouses die, their power returns to the seed, and the seed provides the origin power again, so that the loss of power will not lead to a loophole in the origin. There was actually another problem. What if there were too many powerhouses? Everyone can live for 10,000 years, and even if they live for 100,000 years, the origin might not be able to bear it. What should we do? Have you seen Xinxia? Transcend the tribulation. The God forging envoy chuckled and said, let the powerhouses transcend the tribulation. For example, if a rank 9 powerhouse wants to prove the peak of the Tao, then transcend the tribulation. In this way, the number of experts could be reduced. If the weak wanted to become strong, they would have to consider the danger of death. Unlike now, even if the breakthrough failed, the loss would not be great. This also allowed many people to absorb energy and scrupulously to make themselves stronger. The energy of the 3 realms is getting weaker and weaker, and it has something to do with too many powerhouses. Since you are dissatisfied with the order of the 3 realms, then you need to make your own rules. The God forging envoy said seriously, didn't you say that if you kill the 9 emperors and the others and cripple the Tao of origin, then everything will be fine? It's not like that. If that's the case, it might cause even more trouble in the end. If you don't make the rules, someone will always make them. So, even if we really win the war, you still have a lot of things to do. Fong Ping smiled bitterly. You think highly of me, and you're already helping me think about the aftermath. It's not that I think highly of you. It's to prepare for a rainy day. The God forging envoy laughed. You have to take advantage of the fact that after the war, when there are at least a few powerhouses in the 3 realms, to formulate these rules. Otherwise, you might be like the Heavenly Emperor back then, facing difficulties. Didn't the Heavenly Emperor and the others know the problem? I know, but at that time, there were too many experts. Could it be that they had all been killed? Later on, they were all killed. But look, how much trouble has appeared in the three realms. The God-forging envoy smiled and said, Brat, you can leave these matters to this old man in the future. I like to make these rules. I've already thought about the thunder tribulation for you. Use the divine weapon to investigate. When your strength reaches a certain limit, directly descend the thunder tribulation and strike them to death. Also, I've read a lot of books recently. In the future, there should be some restrictions on my cultivation. For example, martial artists without talent are unable to cultivate, even if it's spirit root. Fong Ping rolled his eyes. What book was this old man reading now? Are you going to create a world of cultivation? Thunder tribulation and spirit root. What are you thinking about? Don't think so. The God-forging envoy laughed. It's really necessary to think about it. It's always good to prepare for a rainy day. The great war between three realms has ended, and there are many things waiting to be done. This is actually the most suitable time. As the God-forging envoy spoke, he sighed and said, I know that you and the martial king want to make the whole nation strong. But, Brad, if this goes on, the three realms won't be able to take it. On the human side, there are hundreds of millions of martial artists now, and the number of high-ranked martial artists has exceeded 1 million. The God-forging envoy said worriedly, Now, do you know how terrifying the energy they absorb every day is? It was so terrifying. This was also the energy recovery from before, coupled with the overflow of the seed projection that was able to satisfy everyone's cultivation. However, in the long run, when the high-ranked martial artists were 10 million, 100 million, 1 billion, 10 billion, what should they do? If this goes on, in the end, you will find that there is no energy on Earth again. Without the support of energy, the new generation of humans can no longer cultivate. The older generation of powerhouses have too long lives, but without the energy to cultivate, what will they do then? What? Kill. The God-forging envoy exhaled and said, Kill others, seize their energy, and satisfy your own cultivation. Therefore, in the end, the three realms will become a demonic land, a true demonic land, a world of cannibalism. Do you and the martial king long for such a world to be born? I don't want to. Then that's it. So, Fong Ping said lightly, it's best to destroy martial arts, completely destroy martial arts, and not let martial arts appear again. They are all ordinary people, and after 100 years, they will die of old age, illness, and illness. How is that possible? When you have martial arts, you can live forever. Who would give up their own strength? Can you? I can. Fong Ping said calmly, I'm tired of living like this. I'm tired of killing. I don't want my descendants to continue killing. Maybe I don't have any descendants, but I don't want the three realms to continue killing. If I say that I yearn for a world without martial arts, would you think it's funny? Would you think it was unbelievable? But I want to tell you, what I want to see is world peace. Martial arts no longer, killing no more. Even if there is no martial arts, there may still be war, a war between ordinary people, and such a situation will not occur again. One person can destroy the three realms. How big was the three realms? There were tens of billions of living beings, but the emperor alone could destroy the three realms. The God-forging envoy was stunned for a moment and said seriously, Are you serious? Why not? Fong Ping said calmly, I think that's pretty good. At least I don't have to worry. If I'm not careful, a top-notch powerhouse will be angry, and the pressure will erupt. With a bang, the country will be destroyed, and hundreds of millions of people will die. Right now, the human race hasn't had such a problem, but it's because the war is imminent. Once there's no pressure to survive, what about the future? Fong Ping shook his head. Rather than cultivating martial arts, it's better not to have martial arts. Your thoughts. The God-forging envoy shook his head. Maybe it's like this now, but when you really ascend to the top of the three realms will be under your control, and you might not think that way. Let's see. Fong Ping did not say anything more. Everything was just empty talk now. However, the God-forging envoy laughed. A peaceful world, a world without martial arts. The idea is beautiful, but unfortunately, it shouldn't work. I remember that someone mentioned this back then, but in the end, it was left unsettled. Mention a world without martial arts? Fong Ping's eyes moved. Who said that? Who said that? The God-forging envoy was stunned for a moment, and recalled, who said that? I really don't remember. The one who listened to it as a joke back then should be a powerhouse, maybe one of the 9 emperors and 4 emperors. Of course, it seems like he just mentioned it in his spare time. Fong Ping's eyes flickered. A world without martial arts. This was a joke in the eyes of powerhouses. How was it possible? How could the legacy of martial arts for 40,000 years disappear? Even without the origin, there was still the beginner martial arts. Even without the beginner martial arts, there were still others. How could martial arts be extinguished? It could not be extinguished. However, someone had actually mentioned it. In that case, his origin might be related to this person. Who? Who proposed a world without martial arts? Fong Ping's eyes flickered nonstop. If someone proposed this concept, it might be the creator of the system, and because he had experienced such peace, that person hoped that he could realize such a dream, because it was impossible for others to do it. Even Zhang Tao. It was true that Zhang Tao was a human, and he also hoped that the war could stop, but the era he lived in was an era full of martial arts, an era full of martial arts. In Zhang Tao's opinion, there were many things that could only be solved by being strong. Could Zhang Tao annihilate martial arts? Most likely not, because he did not know what would happen after martial arts annihilation, whether it would cause the human race to face a crisis again. One of the 9 emperors and 4 emperors? Fong Ping was very surprised. He thought that the celestial emperor, the sun god, and the seed were the most likely to create the system. Now, it seemed that it was not as complicated as he thought. It was done by one of the 9 emperors and 4 emperors. Who was it? I've already broken through 9, and the system is still reporting the data. My peak strength has exceeded 70 million calories, but still, no one has come to harvest it. Could it be that this person knows, but is waiting for me to annihilate martial arts in secret? Fong Ping frowned. Very quickly, he exhaled and stopped thinking about it. At this moment, he also sensed that old Wang and the others had arrived in the outside world. Star Town, Conference Hall. Seeing that Yao Qingjun had come along, Fong Ping laughed heartily. Old Yao, long time no see. Yao Qingjun smiled. Beside him, Li Hansong glanced at Fong Ping, wanting to say something but hesitating. Yao Qingjun glanced at him. Iron Head was a little embarrassed, keeping his mouth shut. Fong Ping glanced at them, smiling. Why? Are you still hiding secrets from me? No. Iron Head interrupted hurriedly, indicating that there were no secrets. Fong Ping sneered and did not say anything. Suddenly, he grabbed Iron Head. Then, the world spun, heaven and earth were cut apart. Iron Head was caught and brought to the dark land, without a sound. Fong Ping, let me out. Iron Head looked miserable. Let me out quickly. Where was this? It was pitch black, nothing could be seen, nothing could be heard. It was very lonely here alone. Fong Ping, Old Wang, Old Yao. Iron Head did not know how long he had waited. He was getting more and more lonely, more and more afraid. What was Fong Ping doing? He had caught him and brought him here, but he did not show himself. What was he doing? After an unknown amount of time, Fong Ping suddenly appeared. Iron Head looked excited, but Fong Ping's face was livid. Great, Fong Ping said coldly. I treated you guys as brothers, but you guys treated me like this. I used my life to befriend you guys, and you guys hid it from me. You guys, I can forget about them, but I didn't expect that you, Iron Head, would treat me like this too. Li Hansong was stunned, saying sheepishly, Fong Ping, you know everything? Fong Ping said coldly, did you think you could hide it from me? As for Old Wang, it would have been fine if I didn't ask. But when I asked, he told me everything. I'm angry. He dared not say anything. But you, Li Hansong, are like this too. Iron Head said dryly, no. Old Yao said that you don't need to worry for nothing if I tell you. What he said makes sense. The cat might not betray you. What I'm afraid of is that the cat is controlled by someone else. There's nothing between us. We're just borrowing the way. To be honest, our strength is not good. Although we're breaking 8 now, can we really break 9? If we can get a few emperors to work with, it's actually not bad. Old Yao is also thinking for the humans and for you. Fong Ping, Old Yao doesn't have any bad intentions. I know him. He's just cold. He's not even afraid of death. What else can he be afraid of? I just don't want you to worry. I actually wanted to tell you, but Old Yao is right. One more person knowing, one more person worrying. What's the point? It's all my fault. I shouldn't have expressed it just now. As he said that, he sighed. Now that you know, there's no need to hide it. Actually, it's not bad to discuss it together. Ironhead was still narrating his story when Fong Ping disappeared. In the conference hall, at this moment, Old Wang and the others were chatting with Fong Ping. Zhang Tao, on the other hand, was looking at Ironhead, who was almost drooling. He was a little surprised. What was this idiot doing? It was fine if he was alone in a daze, but he looked like he was about to drool. Was he stupid? He was already breaking 8. Why was he still like this? Old Wang also looked at Ironhead in surprise. On the other side, Yao Qingjun was telling Fong Ping about the harvest from the Sky Destroyer Palace. At this moment, he could not help but ask, Fong Ping, why are you controlling him with mentality? Everyone knew that Li Hansong's mentality was weak. Why did you control this idiot with mentality out of the blue? He was almost drooling. Fong Ping grinned. It's nothing. I'm too lazy to listen to his chatter. This guy's been talking a lot lately. I might as well not let him talk. However, he cursed in his heart. He still wanted to hide it from me. Fortunately, you, Master Ping, have many tricks up your sleeve. When he saw this idiot's attitude just now, he felt something was off. He immediately went to test him, thinking that there would be gossip. He did not expect that. He was really gossipy. At this moment, Yao Qingjun and Old Wang had no idea that they had been completely sold out by Ironhead. Ironhead really thought that Fong Ping already knew and was now explaining. Fong Ping was also speechless. This idiot, whoever talked about secrets with you, was the idiot himself. You still want to keep secrets like this? For Old Yao and Old Wang to tell him a secret, they were really brave. Of course, this was also related to Ironhead's trust in Fong Ping. From Ironhead's point of view, since Fong Ping knew anyway, then it was not a big deal for him to say it. They were all on the same side, so he could say it. The next moment, Ironhead was in a trance. Soon he scratched his ears and cheeks. Fong Ping, I've already said it. What do you think we should do about this? Yao Qingjun and the others looked at him in surprise. What did he say? What did he say? Only then did Ironhead see the situation around him clearly. Seeing that they were looking at him in surprise, he said gloomily, What's wrong? Why are you looking at me? It's not like I said it first. Old Wang said it first. I'm not a traitor. Old Wang was dumbfounded. What did he say? He did not say anything at all. He only greeted Fong Ping. What did he say? Old Yao was also dumbfounded. He seemed to have realized something and looked at Fong Ping again. At this moment, Fong Ping was holding a teacup, drinking tea with a leisurely expression. It was easy to deal with them. As for Ironhead, it was easy to control his mentality slightly, create an illusion, and trick him into saying a few words. He was too lazy to expose them. Fong Ping laughed and said, Let's get back to business. Ironhead, stop talking nonsense and listen carefully. What are you doing just now? Were you dreaming? Ironhead was not really stupid. At this moment, his eyes blinked, and he was suddenly in a trance. Did I just dream just now? It did not seem like it, but nothing seemed to have happened in front of him. He remembered that he was captured by Fong Ping, but now it seemed like he was still in his original position. Ironhead swallowed. Suddenly, he looked at Fong Ping, then angrily raised his middle finger. Motherfaster's cur, you tricked me? This bastard. He used his mentality to create an illusion to deceive him. Shameless villain. Fong Ping could not be bothered with him. He laughed and said, It's settled then. The three of you, prepare to receive me. Of course, it is not necessary until the critical moment. Old Wang was the most suitable. Anyway, he was going to be exposed. It did not matter if he was really exposed. Ironhead was second. After all, he was too stupid. If he did not expose himself today, he might be tricked into exposing himself in the future. Old Yao was third. I will bring some of your mentality attachments in. Whoever I crush will open up a passage. Be ready at any time. My godfather will receive me outside the origin gate. Senior God Envoy and the rest will guard Star Town to prevent anyone from causing trouble at this time. All right, keep an eye on Tian Chun and Heavenly Dog. Be careful of these two fellows causing trouble. This time, when I enter, I might help someone open up the Void Gate, Vitality Gate, and Mentality Gate. Ironhead listened in a trance, still thinking about what just happened. However, Fong Ping stood up directly and said, I'm going to see Wang Ruobing and Lindsay. The few of you don't do this with me next time. Even if you do, leave Ironhead, this idiot, behind. Don't bring him along. Otherwise, he will die before he can succeed. Fong Ping snorted in disdain, sneered, and took off into the air. As for old Zhang, he also glanced at the few of them with some contempt. Instead of discussing secrets with Li Hansong, why don't you ask everyone to discuss it together? It's a waste of breath. I'll have to say it again later. With a sense of superiority from crushing his IQ, old Zhang also left suavely, too lazy to ask any more questions. Although he did not know what it was, Fong Ping obviously knew, so he was too lazy to ask. In the basilica, there were only 3 people left. Old Wang and Old Yao both looked at Li Hansong. Li Hansong's expression was stiff. The next moment, he suddenly burrowed into the ground and escaped. I didn't do it on purpose. Fong Ping tricked me. I really didn't do it on purpose. I was innocent. Chapter 14:26. Knowing Old Wang's purpose, Fong Ping did not say anything. He would talk about what happened when the boundary wall broke later. However, it could be seen that there were indeed many disputes among the emperors. They were not united, which coincided with old Zhang's purpose this time. As for why they did not tell him, it was normal. Fong Ping would definitely not agree. They wanted to find a way out for the humans, so it was not surprising that they agreed. A few minutes later, Fong Ping once again came to the small world of Polaris. This arcane realm was the safest place now. Tian Chun was in it. Previously, he was in seclusion in the Hall of Myriad Origins. When Fong Ping returned, Heavenly King Jin was afraid that Fong Ping would see him and want to kill him, so he moved him into the arcane realm. Seeing Fong Ping, Tian Chun sat cross-legged on the ground, opened his eyes, and did not speak. Fong Ping glanced at Tian Chun and said with a smile, Senior Tian Chun, how about I return your Tao to you later? Tian Chun raised his eyebrows slightly. Fong Ping smiled again. I just don't know how effective it will be. That Tao, there are still 400 meters left. Tian Chun's face was blank. How long was the Tao that was hundreds of thousands of meters long now? 400 meters? How did you do it? Soon his eyes moved slightly. The Tao was crushed. It was either Tao was burned or his physical strength was too strong and crushed the Tao. Did Fong Ping burn his Tao? Never heard of it. That meant his physical strength was so strong that after his Tao of Breaking 8 was compressed, there was only 400 meters left. It was too scary. How strong was Fong Ping now? Fong Ping smiled. Although 400 meters is a little short, this is Senior's Tao, and I compressed it. It should be able to be extended very quickly. It shouldn't take long to return to its original length. Tian Chun nodded slightly and said in a low voice, Since I've been through it once, as long as I have enough origin chi, I can naturally recover quickly. Senior, do you want to break 9? Do you want to prove your Tao and become an emperor? Tian Chun said nothing. Fong Ping smiled. I promise, Cat, not to kill you or burn your Tao. Then you still have a chance to break through to 90%. What are you trying to say? I don't want to say anything. I just want to ask, what is the Celestial Emperor's purpose? Fong Ping said calmly, Do you really have to be my enemy? Was there no possibility of cooperation? Now I know a lot of things. Among the 9 emperors, other than Emperor Ling, do the others really listen to the Heavenly Emperor? They probably couldn't wait for the Celestial Arch to die and go to the sinkhole. As for the Celestial Arch, he probably couldn't wait to kill them so that they could fill the pit. Did the Celestial Arch not have any plans in the Source Land? The Celestial Emperor was probably behind the 9 Emperors' imprisonment. Now, my greatest enemy is the 9 Emperors, not the Celestial Emperor. Let's deal with the 9 Emperors first. What does the Celestial Emperor want to do after that? Then we can decide who the victor is. Isn't that great? Tianqin frowned and said slowly, I am only Heavenly Monarch's follower. I cannot represent Heavenly Monarch. He has absolute trust in you. Otherwise, he wouldn't have asked you to be Song Mao's protector, right? Tianqin exhaled. What do you know? I don't need to know anything. I don't want to ask about the Ash Cat, and you probably won't tell me. I just want to ask, is there any way to contact the Celestial Emperor? Fong Ping chuckled. I'm going to the Origin immediately. If I can contact the Celestial Emperor, that would be the best. Even if the Celestial Emperor could kill me, it wouldn't do him any good. Tianqin was silent for a while, then said, Master is trapped in the Source Land. What you see is not where his real body is. The Source Land is divided into multiple spaces. If you want to see Master, Tianqin hesitated, then a golden stone appeared in his hand. After you enter the Source Land, you can use this to look for Master. The closer you are to Master, the hotter it gets. If Master wants to see you, he will naturally look for you. You're hiding so well. Are you afraid of being killed by the 9 Emperors? Fong Ping mocked, then laughed. Aren't you afraid that I'll lure the 9 Emperors to find him? Tianqin said in a low voice. Master has already transcended. What he wants is different from the 9 Emperors. The 9 Emperors want to transcend, and transcendence requires a seed. That's why the 9 Emperors are your greatest enemy. If something happens to Master, there will be no one to hold the 9 Emperors back. That will be the end of humanity. With the king's intelligence, I don't think that will happen. Fong Ping smiled, took the golden stone, and asked, What is this? A keepsake left behind by Master. Fong Ping did not ask further. Tianqin probably did not know what it was. The material was very hard. Fong Ping played with it for a while, but could not determine what material it was. Is there anything else you want to tell me, Senior? Fong Ping looked at Tianqin again. Tianqin frowned. Still silence. Just as Fong Ping was about to leave, Tianqin sighed. Be careful of Dong Wang. Dong Wang is Master's most trusted disciple, the most outstanding disciple. Dong Wang is actually a little similar to Fong. He is one of the leaders of the beginner martial artists. He is older than the underworld god and the rest. After Master created the Source, Dong Wang was actually the first to seek refuge with Master. But in the end, the failure of the Immortal Source project was probably Dong Wang's doing. The Earthly Emperor and the Emperor may have secretly participated, but Dong Wang may be the leader. He is the traitor of the Celestial Emperor's bloodline. Although the Emperor God and the rest are not on good terms with Master, the Emperor God is at most Master's nominal disciple. He is only teaching, not inheriting. And Dong Wang is the inheritor of the Source, one of Master's inheritors. Dong Wang is very ambitious. Back then, the fall of Zhang Tiandi might not have been caused by the Emperor God and the rest. The key was actually Dong Wang. Fong Ping raised his eyebrows. Dong Wang? How do you know? Tianqin was silent for a while before continuing. Back then, the fire god attacked and killed the cat. After that, we investigated and found the fire god, but that was not the end. In the end, I and the fire god perished together. As for Emperor Ling, he continued to investigate. During the time I died, Spirit Emperor continued to investigate and killed many people, but in the end, he could not find the final enemy. As soon as this was said, Fong Ping remembered. Old Zhang had told him about this that day. Back then, Spirit Emperor had killed many people to find the murderer, but there were still some people he could not find. Spirit Emperor had even told the cat to look for the Celestial Emperor if there was any danger. Spirit Emperor could not find them. Fong Ping thought he was talking about Fist God and the rest, but if it was them, how could Spirit Emperor not be able to find them? Now, Tianqin's words confirmed what he said that day. At that time, Spirit Emperor was probably prepared to die. When a person is about to die, his words are always kind. She would definitely not lie. That meant that she really did not find them. or if she found them, she did not continue to investigate. Dong Wang was considered Spirit Emperor Senior. Both Dong Wang and Spirit Emperor were considered part of the Celestial Emperor's bloodline, so if they found Dong Wang, Spirit Emperor might give up. Also, if Dong Wang was part of the Celestial Emperor's bloodline, Spirit Emperor should have told the cat to look for Dong Wang if there was any danger, unless she was sure that Dong Wang would die too. But Dong Wang was the second emperor of heaven and earth. How could he die so easily? Fong Ping's thoughts drifted away, and he said quickly, Dong Wang secretly led the killing of the cat? It should be him. Tian Chen exhaled and said with some mixed feelings, the failure of the Celestial Source Project was most likely caused by him. Then it was actually very normal for him to kill the cat, because he knew that the cat was left behind by Master, and he wanted to destroy the cat and ruin some of Master's plans. Moreover, compared to others, Dong Wang was more qualified to transcend. He was walking on the true Tao of origin, or rather, compared to others, he was more like the Master. Force. Not many emperors use force because everyone has some deviation, but Dong Wang is very balanced. Heaven Emperor Zhan was powerful, and most of the credit goes to Dong Wang. Dong Wang is also powerful, and he might not be weaker than Emperor God and Emperor Reverse. Fong Ping frowned. Dong Wang. To be honest, Dong Wang was not as annoying as Emperor God. He was also the low-key type, and he was not famous among the 9 emperors. But from what Tianqin said, Dong Wang might be leading many things in the dark. I see. Fong Ping nodded and said, Sir, you are very knowledgeable. Then I have another question. Why did Emperor Heaven want the Tree of Tao to prove his Tao? To complete the Tao of origin. Tian Shan did not hide this. He said, You know that the Tao of origin is not complete. The Tao of origin consisted of the blood chi Tao, the mental Tao, the energy Tao, the life Tao, and even the demon beast Tao and the origin Tao. But there are still some things missing, like the real Tao of Emperor and the Tao of monster plants. Because it is not complete, there are all kinds of problems in the land of origin. Our master once said that if all the Tao were complete and he was not in a hurry to break the origin, when all the Tao were complete, there would be no problem when he transcended. Unfortunately, our master did not know much about the Tao of origin, so he missed many opportunities. After that, it was too late to make up for it. Tian Chen sighed. The other Taos are fine, but the Tao of monster plants and the Tao of monster plants are hard to make up for. The Tree of Tao is a chance for the Tao of monster plants. Therefore, our master must hope that the Tree of Tao can prove its Tao and make up for some of the flaws in the origin, including King Wu. If our master knew about King Wu, he would also hope that King Wu could prove his Tao. Having said that, he added, not only our master, but the other emperors also know about this. Therefore, before the Tree of Tao and King Wu can prove their Tao, they are safe. It is a pity that you killed the Tree of Tao. Tianqin looked at Fong Ping, speechless. The emperors all knew about this. Therefore, it was not possible to kill the Tree of Tao. Even the God Emperor did not really treat the Tao tree as a substitute. Perfecting the Tao of origin was not the goal of the Celestial Emperor alone. If others wanted to transcend, perfecting the origin was naturally the best. In the end, Fong Ping, the hothead, did not care so much. He killed the Tree of Tao directly. The mystic realm was left for the Tree of Tao. As for Fong Ping, the emperors would not have an opinion if they called him a troublemaker. This guy had indeed messed up many people's plans and arrangements. Fong Ping raised his eyebrows slightly. The Tree of Tao is dead. Now the most promising one to become the emperor of monster plants in the 3 realms is Heavenly Wood. Heavenly Wood. Fong Ping's gaze flickered. Back then, Emperor of Heaven Reverse helped Heavenly Wood prove his Tao. Hong Kuan wants to refine Heavenly Wood. Do these people have other motives? Maybe. Tianqin explained. Hong Kuan might be after Heavenly Wood's monster plant Tao. He knows that if he used other Taos to prove his Tao, he might be plotted against by the emperors. If he used monster plant Tao, only the Beast Emperor would be able to deal with him. However, the Beast Emperor is not a concern. The other emperors will not stop Hong Kuan from proving his Tao. If that's the case, Hong Kuan can prove his Tao before solving the problem of his origin Tao. Fong Ping bared his teeth. If that's the case, I ruined Hong Kuan's grand plan, and he did not fight me to the death? Tianqin laughed. At that time, on one hand, it was because of Jiwu Town. On the other hand, it was because we were revived. Hong Kuan also had to be careful that we would attack him. Although Hong Kuan's ability is average, he still has courage. Tianqin's evaluation of Hong Kuan was not bad. His ability was average, but he had a lot of courage. He said that his ability was average because in the past 8,000 years, he had been tormenting a divine sect. In the end, he did not get anything out of it. His courage was okay, because Hong Kuan could take it or let it go. Since the matter with Heavenly Wood had failed, he did not pester him anymore. Fong Ping nodded slightly, but in his heart, he was thinking about Heavenly Wood. Heavenly Wood had also broken through to the Heavenly King realm. However, these days, Fong Ping did not have much time to care about Heavenly Wood. Was Heavenly Wood being targeted by the other emperors now? Fong Ping was not sure. In his heart, he decided that when he returned from the Source Land, he would still go and take a look. Recently, the emperors had been more active. There were projections of the emperor's avatars everywhere. These guys, their real bodies were trapped, but their avatars were not idle. Fong Ping had managed to glean some useful information from Tianqin. Dong Wang. Fong Ping had almost forgotten about this guy. He had been so low-key that it made people's hair stand on end. This guy might actually be the mastermind behind the scenes who instructed Chu Wu to kill Tsang Mao. Other than that, he had the Celestial Emperor's contact information. This way, it would be convenient for Fong Ping to talk to the Celestial Emperor. Of course, there was definitely danger. However, entering the Source Land was the biggest danger. Finally, there was Heavenly Wood. Maybe he could use it. Monster plants had to become emperors and complete the origin path. Fong Ping had thought about this before, but he had not formed a complete train of thought. This time, he had to pay attention. Night. Dragon transformation. Lin Zi, Wang Ruobing, and the others gathered in the Hall of Myriad Origins. Heavenly King Suppression, God Creation Envoy, King Wu, and Old Wang all entered the Hall of Myriad Origins. At this moment, Fong Ping was also among them. Fong Ping looked around and said in a low voice, "I'll enter the Source Land. I may need your help." Fong Ping looked at Wang Ruobing and Lin Zi. Wang Ruobing, my whereabouts were discovered last time. This time, I won't take your origin. Senior Lin Zi. Lin Zi glanced at the dozing Tsang Mao and said in a low voice, "As long as you can do what you promised me, then I'm naturally willing to help you." Promise what? Don't go against Spirit Emperor. Fong Ping said calmly, "Don't go against Spirit Emperor. The premise is that she won't make an enemy of me. If she becomes an enemy, I'll spare her life for you and Tsang Mao's sake. Twice. Since I, Fong Ping, have said it, then I'll do it. I'll spare her life twice. The third time, if she wants to die, I won't ruin the human race's great plan for you. The third time, I'll definitely kill her." No one said that Fong Ping was arrogant, because no one knew how strong Fong Ping was now. Was Spirit Emperor Fong Ping's opponent? They did not know. Fong Ping said calmly, "If Senior agrees, then it's decided. If not," Lin Zi looked at him. She did not ask what the consequences would be if she did not agree. Some things did not need to be tested. Today, Fong Ping had become a demon for the sake of the human race. Would he really let her go? If she did not let him enter the origin, would Fong Ping give up? However, Lin Zi still said, "I'll check my origin myself. There's nothing unusual. You said that I'm a seed of mentality. I'm not sure myself. If I'm not, then there's nothing I can do." "It's fine," Fong Ping said with a smile. "Since Tengu and Tianqin both think it's Senior, then I don't think it's wrong. Spirit Emperor might have also discovered something. I just don't know who set you up, Senior." Lin Zi frowned slightly. She thought for a while and said with a slight headache, "All these years, I haven't slept. I've always been awake. They want to modify my origin, but they don't let me find out." The more Lin Zi thought about it, the more her head hurt. Unless they use mentality to confuse me so that I don't know what's going on. However, I was also a saint back then, and then a heavenly king. If they want to confuse me and make me know nothing, their mentality must have changed qualitatively. Lindsay said slowly, even if it has changed qualitatively, I should be able to find out a thing or two about modifying the origin. I didn't find out. Plus, it's a seed of mentality. That must be the emperor among the emperors, the one with the strongest mentality. The God Emperor and the West Emperor are the most suspicious, followed by the East Emperor and the Emperor. She only listed 4 people. These 4 people were the most likely. Fong Ping nodded slightly and smiled. It's okay. If it's really modified, then there's a way to solve this problem. Having said that, he looked at Heavenly King Jin and said with a smile, Godfather, you and God Creation Envoy, think of a way to wait for me outside the door. Old Wang, the 3 of you get ready. Old Zhang, Big Cat, accompany me to the origin. Fong Ping said, and finally said, I'll start with Senior Lin Zi first. If there's a chance, I might go to Wang Ruobing's side. Vitality and mentality will be solved. Vitality will be solved. Everyone has absorbed a lot of life energy. The void world is still in my hands, and there's still a lot of energy. If that's the case, then it can be comparable to breaking 3 doors. Breaking 9 is not difficult. This is an opportunity. The human race's opportunity. Everyone's opportunity. I hope I can discover everyone's Tao. I will help you break the door. The God Creation Envoy said that these people had only stolen some control rights, not all of them. It was possible that some people's void Tao was not here. As for old Zhang and the others, they had already secretly transferred their Tao. However, a few of them might still have his Tao. It was not impossible for them to have dual control. The last time he was at Wang Ruobing's side, he had discovered old Zhang's vitality Tao. This time, on one hand, it was to break the door. On the other hand, it was to break the Tao in case they did not clean it up last time and there were still future troubles. Everyone nodded. As for Fong Ping, at this moment, he was secretly transmitting his voice. Senior Scholarly, if something happens to Lindsay and Dragon Transformation, please control them. If Old Wang and the others are in danger, please help them escape. Finally, it's about the human race. Senior, please take care of them. I don't know how long I will stay inside. Don't worry. The errand boy replied in secret. With Fong Ping's personality, how could he bring everyone away and put himself in danger? Scholarly guarded the human world, guarded the myriad origins hall. Whether Scholarly had other motives or not, Fong Ping felt that he could still be trusted now. If that was the case, with this broken 9 in charge, their safety would be greatly increased. After arranging everything, at the side, Old Manly suddenly said, If there's danger, you can also summon me. I can enter the origin. Where is your origin? I might be able to track you down. Don't worry, if there's a need, you won't be able to run away. Fong Ping laughed and patted the dozing cat. Just as he was about to speak, the cat opened its eyes and said, Have you eaten? Fong Ping was tired. Big Cat, what's wrong recently? Do you feel danger? Why are you always thinking about eating? These days, this cat had been thinking about what to eat. Did it sense danger? The cat muttered lazily. Recently, every day has been dangerous. Every day is dangerous. I just want to eat more. After seeing Third Cat the last time, I realized that I'm still too skinny. Skinny my ass. Fong Ping cursed silently. This cat was crazy. Was Third Cat a cat? That was a pig. You, on the other hand, insisted on comparing your fatness with Third Cat. I give up. Stop talking nonsense. Let's go in together. You can roam the origin. Although I've paved the origin world with origin soil, I'm not sure if I can roam the origin. I still need to rely on you during critical moments. Fong Ping was not too sure if he could roam the origin. If he could not this time, it meant that if he wanted to roam the origin without collapsing, he might have to seal his own origin world. This was the only difference between him and the cat now. This possibility was not small. That was why Fong Ping dared not guarantee how long he could stay in the origin. Senior Lindsay, please open the origin. Lindsay did not say anything, nodding slightly. In the next moment, Fong Ping, Old Zhang, and the cat's origin moved. Their bodies froze instantly, and the origin entered Lin Zi's origin world. This was a barren world. It was different from Wang Ruobing's honeycomb-like world. Fong Ping took a look and frowned slightly. It was very troublesome to enter Wang Ruobing's origin last time. He had to build a passageway that was very, very far away before entering the origin. But Lin Zi's side entered directly. Could it be that he had guessed wrongly? It was not Lin Zi? At this moment, Old Zhang was also standing beside him. He looked around, then looked at the avenue not far away, saying in a low voice, "Guessed wrongly?" It did not seem to be a mentality path seed. As for the cat, it raised its head and looked at the little sun in the sky, scratching its head with its claws. "I'm right. I think I feel something. There's something wrong with Lil Zi's son." As soon as he said that, Fong Ping quickly broke through the air. In the next moment, he appeared near the sun. This was the brain nucleus. On one hand, Lin Zi trusted them. On the other hand, she had no choice. Otherwise, she would not dare to open her origin. If the brain nucleus was shattered, she would be finished. At this moment, Fong Ping looked at the brain nucleus, frowning and deep in thought. After a while, Fong Ping suddenly invaded the origin again. This time, Fong Ping's expression changed. He grabbed Old Zhang and the cat at once, shouting, "Be careful. There's a problem indeed. Dual origin. Someone built another source world behind the brain nucleus." No wonder Lin Zi did not notice anything unusual. She would not be so idle as to explore her own brain nucleus every day and move the brain nucleus. There was actually a passageway behind the brain nucleus. Old Zhang was not nervous. He laughed and said, "It's okay. Just keep the commotion low. I heard you say last time that if you did not take the risk to enter the honeycomb passageway, the other party might not have noticed you. It's the same this time. As long as you're careful, the 9 emperors are trapped now. They probably won't keep watching over here. It's even safer than last time. You brat, don't mess around this time. Even if you break the door, wait until it's safe. I know, I don't need you to tell me." "Nonsense. If I didn't tell you to mess around, what if you get me killed? If I die, and you die, who's going to take care of your sister and your parents?" Fong Ping was speechless. There was nothing wrong with what he said. As the two of them argued, a long passageway was built quickly. At this moment, in the Source universe, a transparent passageway led straight to the Source. The mentality gate trembled slightly. However, it did not cause too much commotion. In the Source ground, someone suddenly looked toward a door and frowned slightly. He was not sure if he had sensed wrongly. Someone entered the Source ground? Who entered the Source ground? The commotion was too small. He suspected that he had sensed wrongly. However, earlier, the mentality gate did tremble slightly. At this moment, in the Source ground, someone shouted softly, "Everyone, G has gone to suppress the celestial source. Everyone, put in more effort. Do you really want to cause chaos in the Source ground?" Without the Emperor, the few of them had to share the burden of the Emperor. As such, suppressing was harder than before. They could not afford to be distracted now. As soon as the words were spoken, there was a commotion everywhere. The emperors began to suppress one after another, waiting for the chaos in the Source ground to subside. The arrow from Jean had a significant impact on the Source ground. At the same time, in a place of endless darkness, in the void, a corpse floated. At this moment, the eyes of the corpse suddenly trembled. In the next moment, it opened its eyes and looked into the endless darkness. Who? Who came? Was it Tianxin? The corpse opened its eyes for a while. Very quickly, it felt the suction of the Source ground. It closed its eyes again and continued to suppress the Source ground. However, it let out a faint sigh. Jean, Heavenly Emperor Jean. That arrow pierced through the Source ground and went straight to the core. It was not as simple as Fong Ping and the others thought. Even the 9 emperors did not know where the Source ground's core was. It could not locate it. Jean found it. He found this place. That arrow brought too many surprises and shock to Heavenly Emperor. Jean, unbelievable. You're tuning into the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.